certain aspect of it that felt like it was also technical when it lost VWAP, and then things sort of could come to the chart for Alphabet. Like, it also lost VWAP, and
That's
maybe
not a technical break.
Well, there's news plus technicals. We have to speculate. At this point. But just back to the chip names. I am back into AMD, but like this Apple selling, I think we're going to get an opportunity. Maybe we get an opportunity that 200 period again on Apple. But AMD, let's see if we can get into VWAP. You're seeing NVIDIA right at those highs. AMD starting to roll over along with the markets. I'm looking VWAP on this particular trade here in advanced micro devices. And then only because, oh no, we have ARM. Okay, ARM's on the list.
Yeah, I just want to say a shout out to Nimrod, who just gifted 10 memberships. So thank you, everybody out there. Nimrod, you did it yesterday, I think, or a couple of days ago. You're doing it again today. That's not a cheap gift, man. That's $50. So everyone, go in there, get it. Bears versus Bulls, we'll figure it out how to sign up and grab that. It's something in the settings for YouTube, so make sure you do that. What I was saying about how that's not a technical break, we see stocks break VWAP. We see stocks do this thing. We see them do this all the time. I can show you for every one of these moves, there's 50 others that don't do anything off VWAP. So there's something about this right there. And for the fact that it's continuing, so we'll wait to see. But I just went long Apple, which might not work either. We initially wanted 223.50, but now if you're going to push down $1 here, look, the NASDAQ might lose VWAP and then we're gone. So we're not going to hold this for too long, but let's just test Apple because we like the stock. And I mean, I know that sounds like I like a lot of stocks, but Apple, for example, I mean, today it was relatively strong at one point, right? We blasted through that long. It's not on the board, but blasted through that long. Then it's just been dripping down. So program selling is very, very possible right now on Apple. Let's see if at some point it gives it up. But right now, 222.50. I'm getting out on a break of 40. Small little tester here for Apple, but not working out well at all, as this market has just been straight down. Like, it's about 15 straight minutes without any relief whatsoever. So to everybody's point here, there's probably something else. Like, I don't know if Trump is saying stuff. I mean, Adara's right here. So if there's anything, we'll get it all figured out. But right now, market bleeding down a little bit. Not worth panicking. It's not a huge move. But it is strange that there's no bounce. So we'll wait for it. And again, thanks, Nimrod, for all of those gifts, right? That means a lot to all of us. So thanks for the support. All right, let's go back over to the screen here. And there it is, man. We're going to have lots to talk about with Bitcoin.
Good day for Bitcoin today, Sean. IBIT up 0.8 below that $60 area. Was up at a little bit higher earlier on. We had BlackRock CEO Larry Fink out in Davos making nice statements, basically positing that $700,000 could be a target here on Bitcoin if you're frightened of the debasement of fiat currency. Obviously, he had other things to say about that. I asked Adair to make sure Donald Trump didn't chime in during his keynote speak at Davos. Didn't say specifically anything about Bitcoin, just mentioned the word crypto once, guys, but up on the day.
It's a deceiving up, isn't it? I would say for crypto, because we've lost that 105.
Yeah, pretty flat, right?
Yeah, I have a chart up of Mara and the adventures that it went on. So Sean and I we had a good time shooting some videos. Maybe check out for some of that sort of stuff. But yeah, this did an ultimate mean reversion. I'm talking about Mara did an ultimate mean reversion earlier today. It was program buying and program selling, and it's now chilling right back in the middle. Basically the same thing with BTC that we can see here. But it's not the top wick, but it's the top wick of the move. I think right before you had that, I guess, massive dump in Bitcoin, it ran the top on Mara, and then this candle, a single candle, right after I got that little tight stop out there for like 10 cents, that next candle on the 3-minute was like almost 3% to the downside on Mara. It is what it is. It's frustrating, but ultimately, I still think that every single time there's weakness, I think you go back to the well. Like, it cannot break and do much over the $20 level here on Mara. That is your 50 period at 21. So any weakness in Bitcoin, if this is underneath that 50 period on the daily, I think you short it up there on MARA. Timing just maybe not the best with that crazy wick out and then absolute plunge. But, if I don't have a stop out, what if it goes the other way?
So the only thing that I'm seeing here on Google is exactly what we talked about before, that the UK is launching this probe into Google and Apple. We had that off the watch list earlier this morning. And so That's part of why, it's not part of why, but Apple just went positive for us. I just feel like this is just, we had such a good day yesterday, I felt like, especially near the close for Apple, that I'm kind of thinking like, you know, hopefully we'll be able to hold. I'm going to try one more piece at 222.50. Then if we break 40, 10 cents worth of risk, and we gone on that one. All right, IBIT, what a crazy day this was, and that's why I want to talk about it just real quick. So we started right away off the open. We're like, let's short because crypto was down, and even as I was writing it, I remember telling Neil, man, this might not be good. I don't know what exactly I'm doing here with crypto immediately because I thought we could bump into where we were yesterday and then fade off of that. Well, that didn't work. So we just went short at 50, then we went short at 75 and got out. So it was a red mark, but it wasn't that much. Then we said, okay, until we can calm down. I look over here, Joe's going crazy. He's like, yeah, Bitcoin's all the jam and everything. Everyone's going crazy. Yo, how are those wings, by the way? Like, this guy's killing the wings over there. Like, this is what happens. See, when you're a hockey player, man, you play hockey, then you go with the boys, and you grab the beers and you grab the wings. This man is a professional.
He's not
over there right now. Shout out to my guy Joe, killing it with kindness over there, crushing those wings. But okay, end of the day. Which one did you have, by the way? Smorgasbord. Okay, good. Dealer's choice. I like that one, my guy. Okay, so as we're going here, let's focus. All right, so we waited, and then we said, okay, let me shout out Obi because, you know, we're looking at prior bar highs. And where is it on IBIT? It was right here. So it ripped up, then it faded off this. We got that first close 5 minute. And then as it came back, I just said, hey, that was a pretty dramatic move up there. We know we have news coming with crypto, so let's wait to see what exactly this pullback is all about, right? So that's basically what we did. We played short 60-25s or something against this level. So now if we go over here and see that exact trade, this is what it was. And it was just pay dirt after that. So there's the short. We took it twice, came all the way down, scared us all the way back up to where we got out. And then all of a sudden, man, Neil and I were just chilling out here. And then the volume picked up and I'm like, huh? And I looked down, I was just like, okay, like that net is significantly different now than it was before. And then I basically just panicked. Buy. It goes down into the 200 period. And then we were able to get out the rest, some out at view up, some out. Then we tried the short one more time at that same level, and then it broke. So in and out of all of this on IBIT, what a fun day. But at the end of it all, nothing really. Like, you know, losing there, making there, flat there. You know, I wish there was more to say about IBIT, but at the end of the day, Neil, that's 61. I don't know, is that like 105 or I don't know what level that is, but that's hit there a couple times.
It's got to be a little, I think it's a little higher than the 105. But you know what? Speaking of Bitcoin,
okay, yeah.
Sean, Hive Digital Technologies, which is HIVE on the NASDAQ, is pioneering the digital transformation through sustainable AI solutions and Bitcoin mining. A global leader in cutting-edge data center operations with over 2,700 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, Hive consistently tops the industry in Bitcoin mined per exahash and is redefining the future by powering the world's most transformative technologies with efficient, green, and clean energy. Learn more by following them at Hive Digital Tech or at hivedigitaltech.com and sign up for the Hive newsletter for updates. Check out that QR code in front of you, link in the description as well. And what an unbelievable move Bitcoin did have in today. We're in a crypto channel where we've got a lot of volatility between this. We used to be 90 in the highs. Now maybe it's just 100,000 in these highs, which is a good sign. If we're consolidating a little bit higher, that's always good. Speaking of good, Netflix is great.
Make Netflix great again.
Very strong, Sean. It's great. It just printed all-time highs a couple of days ago. Reported on Tuesday, guys. Obviously, you can see there on the left side of the chart, it was a huge beat. Sold off a little bit of yesterday as people took profits. We're still below that $1,000 area. A couple of notes on this one. Wolf Research upgrading Netflix to outperform today and boosting that price target markedly, guys, to about $1,100. This is just talking about the report that we got on Tuesday.
But just quickly before we get to Netflix, Amazon here is double tapped 233.25, and we did reload it at this price where we had it on a bit of a trend hold at just before 1 o'clock. Looks like it might break down, so you'll probably see this one come out. Obviously, short in AMD is kind of working as that pulls back, but Amazon might crack this local bottom, and then I'll jump out of it.
Gonna go.
Netflix, we didn't, like, whatever. I blame it on Netflix. Like, where's our split? I mean, come on, man.
Come on, Netflix.
You don't split this year, and, well, I'll keep my subscription. I'll still hold on to my shares. You'll probably just hear us complain about it. That's pretty much all of it is. But there's nothing to hate about today for Netflix. It's holding on to this strength while the market pulls back. That's good. It's not getting any real contagion out of that drop that you saw. I mean, not that it would from Alphabet, but sometimes the programs come on. The only downside would be this relief rallied yesterday on earnings day right into this 990 and then failed, and we're kind of holding resistance underneath. So when you put that like 2-3 day rule into it, well, you still have a fail of the $1,000 level and a lower high to contend with. So it's not all systems go that this is going to break out the top past 1,000 yet. But it's only day 2 after earnings. Certainly it could happen next week, but we haven't seen 1,000 in the open market on this stock. It may be like a brief couple of seconds there yesterday at the open. So I still think that breakout is valid. You just got to wait at least another day.
We're, for those of you that are wondering, we are going to have Raider Trader come on just after we're done the rundown. So that'll be pretty quickly on. Thank you, Andrew, for your patience. Around 2:30, Raider Trader. So get ready for that one. We did dip by some Apple. Now Apple's back into the money a little bit, 5-6 cents. So there it is. We'll take out a 10-cent move as we get some 65s right now as Apple. Dip by, out some 65s. Let's wait to see. Again, Google and Apple is starting to go a little downside. Now, Google's trying to bounce back a little bit, but some nice downside action there. As again, anytime I see news about DOJ or somebody investigating them for being too strong or too good or too whatever, that's buying opportunities, man. 10 times out of 10, let the weekends flush down. Google being down 1% is not really down that much, so I don't know if it's like a buying opportunity yet, but I just play all this rhetoric and say, yeah, right, to all of that. There goes Apple with a nice move again. We'll take some more 66s out to the upside right there. But all right, Netflix, as Neil mentioned, we're going to speed this up a little bit to get to Tesla and then AMD, but our arm. But at the end of the day, I think it's a nice battle back there for Netflix. I don't, I'm not canceling. No one's I mean, whatever. They're going to raise the price. Ooh, like most people, whatever. They can raise it $5. They could probably raise it like 30%, and I'm not sure people would be canceling anyways. It's just it's a necessary evil. Unfortunately, it's replaced cable. And oh my God, Neil, there it is again. We put the money right back in on Apple. As here we go, Raider Trader and everybody. We're now 30 cents plus in the money on Apple, and here we go. Nice movement here. We're going to start to piece some out. This is a big trade for me. Out of nowhere comes Apple. So we talked about it earlier on the sticky note, 222.50. We like the trade, but Apple starting to go back up there to the upside. All right, it's Tesla time. Apparently a drop again, which is fine. I kind of still want to buy that Model 3, but not yet. We'll wait. I'm going to wait for Sharif to tell me when resale values are at the all-time lowest, and then I'm going to swoop right in. I don't know. I don't know what I'll get. I want to get that Golf R, but it's not electric. So anyways, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like almost 400 horsepower, just a little guy. I just think it'd be hilarious to go around the city in this thing. Randy's all over that one too. So, all right.
What's up, Randy?
Big man at the screen.
If you want a Model 3, Sean, on this side of the border, it's going to cost you $6,200 more. That is, though, starting February 1st, Tesla raising prices on all its models in Canada, with the highest being the Model 3, a $6,200 price hike. There was this note from Danny Ives at Wedbush on Tesla boosting the price target to $550. He sees the golden era for Elon Musk under Trump, and he sees a bull case of over 56% if Optimus Robot counted in the valuation. Separately, there was also an Oppenheimer note on this one. They're a lot more cautiously optimistic. They think that the Model 2 may not be all that it's cut out to be, guys, expected in the later half of this year.
Yeah, I think there's some anticipation, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes like the rhetoric around
yeah, they're too much.
Yeah, like sometimes the negative rhetoric gets a bit much. Like I can't read an article about Tesla anymore that isn't have what's the best way to say this? It doesn't have like a negative connotation.
Yeah, there's always biases.
It probably has a little more to do with Elon and everything else. So it makes it a little bit difficult. But like at the end of the day, look, the stock has been in a sell for both the last two sessions. Is what it is. Down 1%. like you're holding underneath prior day lows, stair stepping to the downside. Like 420 is kind of gone, but like short the pops into, wait a minute, let's go to a 3-minute chart. So here's 413, just like a local high. This gets into VWAP. I think you short it unless the market's completely breaking out on Tesla. And as Sean mentioned, I mean, the 50 period's right here. Like a couple more bad days or a couple more red days. And we're on the 50 period on the daily for Tesla, which has been, it's a gold buy zone. It doesn't even seem to want to get there very much. So I'm kind of with everybody that, well, it is what it is. It's a sell till it's not. It's nothing catastrophic to the downside, but it's still showing some weakness. And I think you're going to have an opportunity at that 50 period based on what we're seeing here.
All right, we are out now of exactly half thank you, Joe, exactly half of our Apple trade. It went right up to the 50-period moving average here, Amin, and there it is right there. So more outs for us on Apple. Look, we bought this dip. It came into 222.50. We like that level. We talked about it as it was there. So there it is right now. It's a nice little winner so far for us there on Apple. We did this yesterday, and then the stock came right back down in. So I'm actually going to take out 10% more right here at 94 if we're able to get that there. Oh, maybe not. On Apple, did we get it? No, we did not. Okay, so that hopefully that'll come in the next couple of seconds. Just a quick little talk there about Tesla, not TSAL, TSLA right there. There's TSLL, by the way. That was another name that many of you like to trade. So just, you know, if that was something, a little bit of a lesser value there. Look, in the opening, we talked about 420, and we were like, yeah, well, it's not going to get to there. Remember, I was like shouting out Chef Joe and everybody, and it was like a nice big fun. I'm going to get some more out of Apple right here at 80. Okay, there we go. We got some Apple 88s, so that was a good one. All right, so I wasn't expecting 420, but it came and went, and then it came again right there. So I just think that we need to make sure that, yeah, I just heard someone over there yell 420 again, so we'll just do this one. Oh, it's Randy. Yo, what's up? Oh, that's Randy's over there. What's up, Randy? What's that? We're doing all this filming. Me and Randy normally have like a bromance date every day. We go and get coffee and at Tim's, and we haven't been able to do that. So my bad, Randy. I still
yeah, Sean.
Yeah, my bad. It's probably because it was my turn to pay. That's probably why we're not going. No, just joking. Okay, so anyways, no trades on Tesla today. At the end of the day, it's just a $10 range. That's not that much, but down 1% against a market that's flat. Not in love with this trade anymore for Tesla, unfortunately. I think it just needs to settle down a bit. It's been, the range has been and the trend has been to the downside. We continue to sort of monitor this 50-period moving average, which is now at 412. We'll look at it. If there's a big move at the end of the day, I'll be on it. But honestly, the fact that we're down and the market's down means we play off VWAP. So right now, Tesla 413, I think that's the trade. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the stock, is my guess. This is just like air coming out of Tesla. And I think what Neil mentioned is also very, very important. It's too much rhetoric right now, like Trump this, Elon that, Dogecoin this, blah, blah, blah. If you actually go back to the technicals and you actually think about what Tesla's doing, I really think that Robotaxi is a good sort of forward look for them. I do like Optimus and all the automation. They're trying to automate many, and they already have, of course, many of the factories. So I think as we worry more and more about employment and things like that, hopefully they'll have that solved, and they don't have the union issue or anything like that. That a lot of other, which is pretty big, right? Which a lot of other automakers, legacy automakers especially, have. So again, we'll hold out hope that the richest man in the world can figure something out, and if not, he's still going to be rich anyways, and I'm going to be sitting here holding the bag. So thanks, Elon. But let's just keep on watching Tesla. I like the stock, but not at these levels, shorting 413-ish.
He's rich.
He's rich, biatch.
Well said, Sean. All right, last but not least here, ARM. Bit of a tougher day today, 8.25% in the negative after it had a big, big day yesterday, likely benefiting from the $500 billion earmarked for AI companies that will benefit from Project Stargate. Susquehanna today maintaining their neutral rating on ARM, but boosting that price target up to $140, guys. Not giving up the entire move, but yeah, giving up some of it. Big day yesterday, tough day today.
Yeah, obviously, it was such a huge move on ARM yesterday. The ability to follow up that kind of a day with strength when the market's not doing anything, the Nasdaq's red, and it is what it is. That said, you can't look at this and not realize, okay, the prior high up here, we bounced off that now pretty cleanly on what is a massive down day. It never got SSR, by the way. And oftentimes, like if you're laser focused, and it's called anchoring, if you're laser focused on one thing, like in my mind, ARM goes down 10%, good stock, usually gets dip buys, goes SSR, go long. What'll end up happening oftentimes when you have that mentality is you'll see a really good other mean reversion trade. It's not down 10%, it's like 9 point something, and then you don't take the trade. So that's anchoring. Like I'm anchored to this going down 10. I don't know what's going on with it this afternoon, except for, like you guys can all see this at 165, right? So somebody is accumulating at $165 on ARM. The market, but what's weird is the market's bouncing up right now. You're seeing a bunch of things look good. The Nasdaq's going higher, and ARM's not breaking away from this support level. So I'd be a little concerned it's going to flat bottom break this afternoon when you look at this paired with, like this on the Nasdaq, right? Look over, Amazon's got back to VWAP, Apple's back into 223, NVIDIA, Google just bounced $1.50, and ARM is not budging. That can't be a great sign for it this afternoon. I don't see any way that that's a positive, despite the fact someone seems to be buying this up at 165. Yeah, if it can't go soon, there might be a flat bottom break on this later.
All right, it's almost Raider Trader time. All right, so we yesterday we had $20 on ARM. Today we didn't look at it. So I don't know. We probably are a mistake. We are just obsessed with other names. ARM's trade yesterday was absolutely huge. We traded it off 160 level. 160 holds again. Yesterday's sticky note. I have it right here. You know what? Let me just show it to you guys because I didn't trade it today. So here we go. Hey, what's up, Jalen Hurts? What are you doing? Where are you going over here, Jalen Hurts? Slow down a little bit there, guy. All right, this was me after a winning trade. We talked about that. When I tell my wife I had a winning trade, Donald's looking there as well. Here I am. This is the best part. The best part is the Hulk Hogan coming up right here. There, I like the thumbs up, and then there it is right there.
6'8".
That's too funny. Okay, so in doing our little roundabouts again, here's ARM yesterday. It was an absolutely huge trade. $20. We bought it off the open. What's up to Raider Trader here? This is like a Raider Trader trade, straight $20, straight to the upside. And the reason why we liked it was it bounced around 160 to 162 long area from yesterday. So now I look at ARM and I say, okay, ARM, what are you doing today? Well, look where we just bounced off of again, 162 again. So 162 up to 166, 168. So a nice move high side right there for ARM off of our same levels. So we'll look at it, man. I think that 162 to 160 should be traded and will be traded if and when it comes down. Yeah, my son's name is also Barron, so I don't know. He won't be prime minister, but Barron Trump may one day become.
Before we move on, you think Barron can dunk?
Yeah, I think he's 6'5". Didn't you say that?
No, 6'8". I looked it up. It says he's 6'8".
Okay, well,
I'm just saying, hope maybe the kid can throw down on some people, but it's wild always because what ends up happening with
Randy, slow down on the wings over there.
You talk about these kids, they grow up, you don't see them until every 4 years sometimes. Like, holy crap, kid's 6'8", big boy. But you know what?
Oh, Randy's loving the left.
We were just talking about robotics with Tesla.
Yes.
And I know a certain somebody that was like coughing, and I think maybe last time he was on the aftermarket show.
I want to talk to this guy.
He had a little bit of a cold, and he was like,
got no cold.
He had these cold. He was sneezing and coughing.
Yo,
and
Raider, this way.
Sounds
this
like
way,
robotics were coming out of his mouth. Andrew, what was that all about, and why should we care about robotics?
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening a little bit there, but all I heard was I would get posterized by Barron Trump. Yep.
Yep. So you were listening. Okay. So how's it going, Andrew? How's everything going in the lovely state of Ohio?
Polar vortex, good. Everything's
same.
freezing, and snows even hit Florida. So get a look at that, Florida. Ohio's not so bad after all.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting quite the. Well, it was cold. We didn't get too much snow. I feel like.
No, we didn't get the snow.
Pretty cold over here. Okay, Neil was talking there. I heard you last Friday. You're on the show. You're doing this coughing nonsense and everything like that. All right, now it's the real deal. Now you're with me here. All right, robotics, right? That's what we're talking about. Tesla's been getting hit for a little while here. Tell me what the long-term play is. Is it a long-term play? Is it short-term? We have ARK. Q is the robotics, maybe? ETF there for Kathy Wood. There's a few different plays in it. Why do you like the space, and what are we talking about here?
Sure. So it is a long-term play, and believe it or not, I think over the next few months you will see a lot of hype around them. Now we are at a market right back at all-time highs again, and we've seen the big craze that has been going on in the meme coins, other small caps regarding crypto coins and other things like that. So there's this big craze right now, and when you go to try to explain it, you go and you say, what is actually pumping the market right now? It's kind of hard to explain because there's so many things that could, in despite of that, turn it around just as fast. But as far as the long-term play with robotics, it's quite simple. When you kind of logically think through what is the timeline of different ideas and how do you go from one big craze to another, well, they really build off of each other. For example, the last big craze that at least we can think of is AI. You had every earnings call talk about AI from NVIDIA, Amazon. If you were a vacuum cleaner company and you put AI in your earnings call, the odds are you went up. It was ridiculous. And so what happened was all this AI term, all these, of course, firms, they invested in AI. And now that all these firms have these increased budgets, increased funding, they've now developed and increased the productivity of AI. We've seen this with ChatGPT, all these other things. But the reality of it is that AI by itself is not that productive to an economy. Sure, you can look up your homework answers. Sure, you can, cheat on every exam if you're a college student. But as far as what you can do with it, it's not very efficient when solving real world problems, such as manufacturing, things like that. So this chase of AI is actually a chase of efficiency. What people are chasing is efficiency. How you get an economy more efficient is with this new AI. That's why they got so much money invested in it. So the next step for that, I think, is going to be robotics. That now you're going to transition this AI into real machinery, real processes, real things that actually increase productivity and efficiency for manufacturers. And especially with Trump, who claims to push more manufacturing domestically, it will definitely cause a big surge into domestic manufacturers trying to be a global competition. And the only way they're going to do that, the only way they're going to cut costs, become more efficient, and compete with firms overseas that are manufacturing, such as in China, is to develop robotics that make things much, much more cheaper.
Right. So, I mean, well explained and well said there. I wanted to make sure that we clarified all that because just before you came on, I was talking about Tesla during the rundown, and I said that's actually one of the biggest things there. Once they can automate and, get their factory going, then you don't have to worry about the input cost as much because there's just robots running everything. So I like that. The other thing here was RKQ. So I'm actually in this name from almost, I don't even know from when. I was looking at it right now and wow, what a move up there for ARKQ. This is the Cathie Wood product. And of course, if you go over here, you can find out who's invested, what names are in here, everything and how it goes down. So ARKQ, a good little ETF there. Is there anything specifically that you're looking at? You don't have to spoil all the riches here, but is there a name that maybe you like? Is there an ETF potentially that's on your radar right now?
Sure. So I did release my report yesterday for you little Raider reporters out there that saw it. But as far as the list, there are some tickers I am actually looking at, yes. Specifically one being MDT. It's a medical company that make medical devices, variety of different parts of your bodies, from pacemakers, things like that. But again, that's a long-term play. Ahead of earnings, I would just participate in some robotics names. I think just right off the bat, TRMB, MDT, Lincoln Electric, LECO, and there's a bunch of other ones, even Kratos, these kind of military, I think that's up 30% in 2 weeks. These type of names are really going to shine ahead of this robotics hype. Now, what the timing of it is, I'm not going to play options on any of these names. This is actually going to be an equity play for me, probably between 1 to 2 years. I don't think anything longer than that is really worth holding, but it's something that, of course, if it does go in my favor, then I will. But that's really what you want to look for, is these robotic kind of names ahead of earnings, and I like MDT specifically.
Yeah, here's this Kratos. So good call here. This is actually the second, and Cathie likes. Hold on a second. We have this little thing here. Don't worry, Andrew. It's not actually her phoning in. It's just I have to. All right. So yeah, it's the number 2 holding in the ARKQ. So great little look there on that name, and here it is right now. Why didn't my daily chart load up? Probably on a little bit of a run there for KTOS. Yeah. So nice move up there for this name. So well spotted, and thanks for bringing that up. So Neil wants to talk to you, I think, about something.
Yeah, first of all, I like the name drop of Trimble there, which also, by the way, that's also in that RKQ. Yeah. It's I don't know, 5 or maybe 5
Cathie's still in my plays, man. I don't know
on that level. It's 7th.
Cathie, look, I mean, Cathie likes to be active and borrow, and you know what? Great minds sometimes think alike, or some like to borrow from others. And you've always come up with like really good points for us here, and I love the way that you sort of break it down and have a very patient approach. Now, it's really easy to look at something like a Trimble as it's breaking out here. My question is, how would you tie in like this, like these robotics, the automation that is incredibly necessary? I'm starting to think of some second level effects here in the long term, because we all know about the port strikes and that the chaos that we get in terms of our supply chain and whatnot. And you start to think about what this level of efficiency eventually is going to mean for some of your retailers of the world, like the certainty that will come into it. Labor effects, we understand the human cost of all of this, but are there any second level effects you might see from this? Maybe not this year, but a little bit later on that you would have on the radar?
Yeah, so as far as what we have on the radar thinks that there are a few different tickers. So specifically with the kind of robotics, when you get this high level of efficiency, I think the next step for this is really going to be, again, I kind of mentioned this in the past, but biometrics. There's just not enough stocks with that, especially things like 6D printing and some of those other concepts. But AI really, again, you can replace the word AI with efficiency. That's all the Wall Street is investing in right now. And so what I actually think moving forward is, even right now, there's a huge opportunity in retailers. Now, not specifically with, hey, they're going to do more sales because they're going to start putting robotic humanoids at the checkout counter. But, self-checkout is just as efficient, if not cheaper and faster, so that doesn't matter. But as far as what I think could actually get a boost now in the short term is actually XRT. So you actually want to look at XRT to bounce into earnings. We have earnings soon, but especially XBI and XRT. Those are my, top picks for the next 3 weeks is going to be XBI and XRT to the upside.
For the record, I did not know you were going to say retail there. I was just speculating
It's
that.
A perfect segue. I mean, Neil, we just got that chemistry at this point. So.
Well, at the end of the day, you're a Big Ten dude. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. How could we not have said congratulations obviously the mayor of Ohio should probably be very proud of the Ohio State Buckeyes, who they faced. It was actually a better game than I was expecting. I actually really thought it was going to be like you guys would destroy Notre Dame, but yeah,
I got a little
good,
nervous at the end. That third down and then the throw to Jeremiah Smith was the. I mean, I knew it was over at that point, but that was a relief. Yep.
I'm going to make a bold statement that I know. Look, your report is always going to be fantastic, and I know your robotics names are going to be absolute fire. But no word of a lie, the stock of Jeremiah Smith as an NFL prospect is higher than any stock that we like in the market right now. I don't care what you say.
Well, it's not higher than Pound.
Crazy.
It's higher than. I think he's the best pure wide receiver, probably just in terms of ceiling in a long time. And okay, maybe I'm overstating that because I like NVIDIA, but it doesn't. No, he's an absolute beast, Jeremiah Smith.
For players like that, I just pray they have a good counsel around them, because you see, all these really talented people just, go off the rails. So
yeah. Well, that's why you have to have good advisors around you that have a wealth of knowledge and experience.
Like Trader TV.
Well, thank you very much there. But I was actually, like you mentioned XBI. I wanted to get back to the market for a second. You mentioned XBI. We just talked a little bit of retail. So in that space, we've been seeing a little bit of a downturn. Like in terms of timing this, are we at any key price levels? I know there's a bunch of M&A talk. Specifically in this sector, we know how once it gets going, we know it's a sector that when it gets going, it can be really explosive. So, do you have a sort of like a timeline for this year, how you want it to play out, or a particular structure to how you want to play it? Because it's not nearly as strong, I think, as obviously the rest of the market.
Sure. So before we talk about that, we first have to build some context as to why I actually approach these names.
Gotcha.
So as far as the markets right now, where we are cruising right up towards that all-time high. But there's a few concerning factors to what could actually lead to another downturn in the market, an increase in volatility. And the first one, of course, is that the VIX, I don't think it made a new low today, which is kind of concerning considering that we are sitting at the all-time high level. We made a new high in SPY today, yet VIX doesn't want to make a new low. This is kind of concerning because what it means is people are starting to get a little questionable as to whether this all-time high is actually going to happen or not. But also an additional factor, one that I think is more plausible and could explain a few more things, is we talked about this before, but the kind of buy the rumor, sell the news trade that we saw a huge run up, partly due to market makers buying up shares into OPEX on January 17th. But afterwards, right, you saw this kind of run up into the Trump administration taking over, all these different actions being done. And now that Trump's in office doing these different things, you have to understand what is priced in. we might not know exactly right now, but we have to understand, is this going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of market right now? And so what you're going to want to watch for is, number one, the PC ratio. If this continues to drop, goes below 0.5, around there, that is a very, very bad concerning thing. But also seasonals. If you want to share my screen real quick, we typically do see a lot of weakness into late January. So I would say that into next week, you can expect a little bit of weakness in the markets, and even much more so during mid-February into late March ahead of earnings for a lot of the tech names. That's typically what you look out for. With that being said, of course, if you want to talk about mechanics of the market, we have to look at the open interest chain. So, of course, you guys know that in the long term, why do stocks bottom? It's due to put buying. You have all these equities in the market. Everyone's buying hedges. Everyone's buying puts. Who's the other end of that trade? It's the market maker. They're selling all these puts to the market participants. When they sell these puts, they are buying shares. And as you get closer, shorting shares. As you get closer to expiration, you naturally have to start buying back shares. And so there's always this passive gear turning underneath the market. It's always supporting the market so long as there's puts. And right now, this is a chart that you saw for the February 21st expiration. And what you can see is there's barely any levels over 50K. And we saw this actually in early January as well, which caused a lot of volatility. This was after the December 20th expiration into January 17th. Early January had virtually no puts. That's why you saw a massive volatility spike in the market. And so we're right back at square one. And so as we go to these all-time highs here in the market, sorry, it's so zoomed in, you can zoom out. But as far as what it is with the markets right now, we're at all-time highs. You have to ask yourself, okay, if we bottomed, we should have bought the laggers up first. So that was good. And then, of course, now that we're steaming towards all-time highs, we buy the leaders in the stocks that are likely to continue to outperform. But now that we're kind of at this sticky situation where, well, what if we start to drop again? Then it's going to be the laggers that actually start to do well because people are going to just start dumping the leaders. So I like XRT specifically because you get that earnings run up into the next 2 weeks. XBI as well is also very beaten down. And so if these markets do start to fall a little bit, it's going to look more attractive to go to the laggers and the more beaten down names that necessarily didn't make a new low since that January 13th bottom. But that's it. So XBI, XRT, those are my two favorite names into the next 2 weeks.
I love that analysis. And the man with the plan, and that's at the end of the day, you have to have a plan of action, a reason why you're looking at it. And as you mentioned on the VIX, I mean, I don't know, anybody can look at a chart, but this is on the VIX. You also have this low that also held on the VIX from the end of last year. So it's a very significant bottom to have not really done a retest underneath it. So, I mean, usually, sometimes we have a little bit of surprises out there. I mean, we've discussed, you discussed robotics. We've talked about the plays that you like here with XBI, and obviously got into the retail as well. Do you have any surprises for us coming on in through? Anything you want to sniff out there, or maybe just cough and hint at could be dropping? Usually you got a little something for us, not to put you on the spot there, Andrew.
There are some things that, of course, you guys like when I get sick. When I start coughing, names just spill out of my, my mouth here. So as far as what I'm actually looking for a trade in the future, there are two different names that I think are worth looking at. Number one, to the short side, just to be prepared, what you want to look at is actually Uber. I think Uber is going to be one of those names that has a crazy 6 to 8% negative day within the next 3 weeks. I think it's possible. I think you could get it, whether it be on earnings, I don't know, ahead of earnings. But one thing you're going to look at is if you want to short something, you're going to want to look at something with an XLI, XLF, or XLE. These are the three major sectors, being energy, industrials, and financials, that all ran up into the Trump trade. That's the Trump trade that, of course, going into the inauguration, those got the biggest run-ups. So now, if this is going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of market, which is possible, they've bought it up in anticipation that Trump was going to do these things. Now they're comfortable. Now you sell it off as the news comes in. That is what you're going to want to look into to short. These names are going to be, they got bought up the most, and they're going to be the ones that get sold off the most. So I would be looking at those ones, specifically with Uber. This one had remained very weak ahead of the last, 2-3 weeks here. Hasn't really done much relative to the market in the terms of the velocity of its strength to the upside. But I think Uber is going to be a good one. But also, to the short side, what you want to look at is something like regional banks. Regional banks, I think, are going to, if anything, get a nice big rug pull within the next 2 to 3 weeks. But that's what we'll be looking at again. The timing for this trade, I always like to talk about timing because that's important. I would not do it this week. I would look to do it past Wednesday of next week to take a position. So that is my idea there.
We appreciate you, Andrew. I mean, I don't necessarily want you to say a short on a stock I hold in the long term, but trading is
sorry, Neil.
No, but trading is different from long-term investing, right? Like if you're buying and holding something effectively forever, it's a little bit different from timing of a trade, which is always important to be able to distinguish. So always a friend of the show. We appreciate you so much. The mayor of Ohio. Look forward to talking to you again. You're always welcome. Maybe step into the chat whenever you get a chance. But thank you so much, Andrew, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Best of luck with all of your trades.
I will say, guys, unfortunately, I think I do have competition next year for mayor. Vivek Ramaswamy, I heard, is apparently running for mayor of Ohio. So if you guys do go out there and vote, please vote for Raider for mayor of Ohio. Thank you.
Well, this community is voting for you. we appreciate you, and you can take on all comers for sure. As always, a great job having you on there, Andrew. We'll talk to you next time.
Yep. See you. Bye, guys.
Great. Take care. Vivek, good a run.
I mean, once he realizes he's going against Andrew, he may drop.
Come with the king, you bet not miss.
We'll figure that.
Or is it governor? I don't know. What do you mean?
I don't know what this guy is half the time.
Vivek? Well, yeah.
Vivek? Oh,
but wouldn't he go for governor? Is he? I don't
know. Mayor's all right.
There's nothing wrong with mayor.
Sharif may be the mayor of Toronto coming up very, very soon. He has a lot of... by the way, I went on the TTC and did not get murdered. So that was really great.
Impossible, dude.
Yeah, when I came down to that Bills game, I was like thinking about like Sharif and everything and all that kind of stuff.
You should see my posture when I'm on the subway, and we're just messing around because Sharif said he almost got murdered on the subway.
Yeah, I think he might have almost.
Oh no, we're
almost happened.
We're joking. Obviously, I'm not saying nothing ever happens on transit. It's like anything else. You're major city. You're a major city. Okay, just one thing about Uber on the chart there, because as I pulled it up here, look at what's happening on this daily. It's not crazy when you look at the price action on Uber. Nice stair step up, but okay, so rejection of the high. I zoomed out way too far. Rejection of the all-time high. Then you get the stair step down, losing the 200-period moving average. It creeps above the 50, runs right into resistance multiple times here in front of that 200-period again. And then look what happens on the reject. Like you've got the rejection of the high. In the last few days, this 68.4, 68.5 has been a bit of a problem for Uber. Now, I think this plays both ways. Like I kind of look at this and say, hey man, why not look for a break of this tomorrow or even this afternoon on some strength in Uber? But as long as this seller holds just above 68, you just keep failing the 68 level. Let's see what it can do with it this afternoon. I like Uber in the long term. I think it's fine. But yeah, you can even see some selling the last 3 days at this particular price level.
Ivanka Trump denounces fake crypto coin using her name.
Denounce?
In the chat there, Raider, you should just drop a coin. That way you can fund your operation there, trying to become. See, I had tweeted out when we first started the show that we were the CEO of the stock market. So now this guy apparently is the CEO here of Ohio. So that's what it is, CEO of Ohio. All right, right there it is.
Another one.
What's up, Max? But yeah, there's Apple. So we just got out of another piece right there back at the 50 period. It does dip down. We were trying to buy a little bit more, but it never got to 50. So we'll take another piece out there at 79. Good birth year. 1979.
True.
I don't know. I'm like way younger than that, but I heard about that was a good birth year. So there it goes. Nice move for Apple, 222.80. Our best outs are up here in and around 223. So, that's what it is right now. Yeah, Sean Coin. Hey, what's up, Kanye East? Yeah, it's not a bad idea to do that, but we do not have any sponsored coins. I'm wearing the Trader TV Live hat. I mean, at least if we had a coin, we would probably give something away to you. I got this NFT jacket. So as soon as they took all my money for the NFT, they kindly sent me a jacket probably worth 5% of what the NFT was. But at the end of the day, get something for it. And that's what we talked about with the Trump coin and things like that. What exactly are you even investing in with some of these coins? And there's the Ivanka
At least Trump. I think everyone knows what they're getting into. I don't think anybody's truly getting into an Ivanka Trump coin thinking or the Hawk Tua.
That's their thing.
Caveat emptor, everybody. I think we all understand this.
I don't actually feel bad for people that lose money in these rug pulls because you're in it knowing that you are basically trying to grab that 100%, 500%. You're in it because it's a carnival. Then all of a sudden, when the music stops playing, you're like, what the hell? Put her in jail. It's you should be the one in jail. Honestly, you're the one everyone can spend their money however they want.
as long as you,
Okay,
as long as the
but-
person doesn't outright deceive.
Right.
Like if you,
Like, as the CEO of the stock market here, I have to advise everybody, invest in stock market, maybe companies, if you're looking for longer term.
because these are companies that
They're
do
actually
something
regulated.
that are regulated, but do something, produce goods and services. You know, the whole
Like,
nine
look,
yards.
if Ethereum crashes or Bitcoin or something that, there's a lot of talking heads speaking about how, the future is this, that, El Salvador. Oh, one of Gia's hockey coaches is going to El Salvador. So I was going to ask him when he gets back what it was like there, if anybody's in El Salvador,
cool.
because they switched over their currency, right? A year and a half maybe ago, maybe even longer than that, over to Bitcoin. So
I think you'll see
what's up
more
with
of
that economy, I wonder.
Especially, I think of like some Caribbean islands and, obviously like anywhere where you have inflation problems or maybe you have like a weakening currency.
Didn't the shekel
you might
in
see
Israel,
a little bit of that.
everybody in Israel there, you guys can state this, but when there was, there's still the ongoing unfortunate, but when that all started, I think 6-8 months ago, I think the shekel got like crushed. So it's like, why would you rather be, or the same thing for in Ukraine and all these things, Russian ruble, especially with all these tariffs, like crypto is holding pretty good compared to some currencies out there. Damn Canadian.
Don't even talk about our currency. Let's
go to Adara.
Let's go to Adara before I choke on how bad our Canadian dollar is. Adara.
Weird here. This did come up while Andrew Rader was talking. Did not want to interrupt, but Rivian actually making a nice little bounce, still down about 2%. But basically, what happened here was we did have RJ Scaringe announcing that their hands-free driver assistance system is going to be coming out here in 2025. They also are planning on having their eyes-off system hitting by 2026, as reported by Reuters. So RIVN. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Back to you.
Yes, Rivian. Hold VWAP, Rivian. Get back to green, Rivian. Do anything but lose the 200-period moving average, Rivian. That's the problem.
Yeah, my one.
Yeah, so it is what it is. The stock's been a buy at 10, and then take something out in the teens, and then hold for the dream, and then buy at 10 again, take something out in the teens, hold for the dream, rinse, and repeat on Rivian. Why does that feel a little bit like Ford, except Ford skips the whole going up part now?
It was all a dream.
Oh, nice. VWAP's starting to hold here on Amazon, so maybe we can get back into that top. What's interesting about this market bounce? Now Google wants to go. Oh, yeah. I guess it was 195 on Alphabet. So it's clearly made a nice power move. I think Alphabet's got a real chance here. 195, it's not a complete nothing burger of a level, but it kind of looked to me like 196 is a key close back on the 17th. And the Friday was going to be a good one, but yeah, Alphabet on the comeback trail. Let's see if it can get back into the prior lows, like 197 half. If it gets there up in here to VWAP and the market were to turn back, I think there could be a revision play here on Google. Adara?
Beware here, Dogecoin, DOGE, getting a little bit of a push here into this previous support level around 0.346. We know yesterday at this nice little volume spike when Donald Trump mentioned the Department of Government Efficiency. Now we have a bit of a potentially negative catalyst related to said department. Wall Street Journal reporting that the top lawyer at this Department of Government Efficiency, Bill McKinley, is set to apparently return to the private sector. So already some turmoil in the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. Just be aware, what I have noticed here is that when this department gets mentioned in news reports or by Donald Trump, there does seem to be a little bit of movement in Doge, of course, because the initials DOGE are the same there, guys.
That reminds me of the times where you used to be able to make money if you would find like a symbol, let's just say like maybe on the OTC, that was very similar to an in-play name. So like think like early Tesla, and then there was I forget, was it TSLA? There was something on the OTC that was like one letter different from TSLA.
Yep.
And I remember like early on when Tesla was not what it is today, any spike in Tesla and this unrelated symbol on the OTC market would run. That's what Doge and the Department of Government Efficiency would be right now, where maybe you can capitalize on it, but it shouldn't last too long because it doesn't necessarily make any sense. So yeah, Doge taking it a bit on the chin. By the way, let me just get to, I looked at Doge, I haven't looked at it. It gets mentioned. Curiosity always makes me want to take a quick look. I just want to come back over to Bitcoin here. Whoops. Just scale that properly. Because what you've just done is, again, lose the 105 level, headed back into 103. So you are getting a bit of a, I don't know, Bitcoin pullback here. Just be a little bit careful. Sometimes we've seen it lead the market before. When you get any kind of a real downward pressure on BTC, they can get a little bit market leading. And the NASDAQ is trying to get back into the highs. My response to that is, like, I've put a trail in. One more. Putting a trail in. If we lose trend here on Amazon, now that it's held VWAP, if we lose this trend, break down, I'm going to jump out. I'm looking at the highs and saying if we can get this lower high, look at the accumulation at 234, 30 to 40. If we get that, I'm jumping out of the trade here on AMZ. And as we are, a little bit of a curl. I don't like it when Bitcoin is leading us in the opposite direction.
Yeah, 103. Yeah, that's actually just noticing that that's going to the downside. That's funny about that TSLL or whatever that stock is now moving around even more. Right now, SMR moving. Just quickly here, because I'm in this position, it's Apple, and I'm just getting out some more. So we're long at 222.50 right now, and it's just doing this. So, I mean, I like the fact that Google's trying to battle back a little bit. We're flat on Google today. We just did it right here. We got the long, and then it lost. So basically 1 for 2. Like, we lost initially, won there, and then it gave up the ghost at the end of the day there. Like, Google down 1%. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily what I call like a dip buy opportunity or anything like that. I would rather wait. I think 190 is a much more significant level there for Google. All right, into the hour of power. Let's see if we can find some powerful plays coming out. All right, so what I'm looking for now is just something that is trending. So that would be SMR, right? It's up 11% here. And then looking for some key levels. So right now, when I zoom this in and we kind of have a little look, like, if we were up here coming into the 200 period, it might be a little bit of a different story, but this is not a horrible look trying to buy into here, $28, holding out hope that we can hold 28 and then break higher. Sure, it's a little excited today. Obviously, there goes Apple. Let's go Apple. We'd like to get that through 223 if possible. But this is a good possibility of a break right here. 228. 28.50 right now on SMR. So what you're going to get now is a hold of the 200, a hold of the 50. I'd rather them not be so close together, but that's okay. If that holds, and then that break right there, and then whoop, using these as your outs. So if you go long breaking 50 there, the upside to the top of the day is $1. I never want to call like $1, but that would sort of be where you are. So if you go there, I think your first out is about that 50 cents. So 1-to-1 risk here on SMR on a strong name that's going your way. I think it's pretty good. And then at that point, you can use the 50 period moving average, which is just 22s. So I'm going to do that. I'm going long 28.50 on SMR with a shutdown of about 30 cents on the specific trade. So we're doing that. Will we be long when we get back from Madeira? Only price action will tell.
Oh, sorry. This part of the show is brought to you by Prop Firm Match. Are you a skilled trader but lacking capital? Prop firms offer the opportunity to trade with simulated funds, which allows you to showcase your skills, access account sizes ranging from 5K to 500K, and you can start with as little as $20. But with over 500 prop firms out there, how do you find out which ones are the best? That's where Prop Firm Match steps in, because Prop Firm Match is your go-to platform for finding and comparing only the most esteemed firms with proven track records and consistent long-term payment histories. Access over 4,500 verified reviews, explore payout histories, and discover the best current deals, all in one place. So what you have to do is scan that QR code or visit propfirmmatch.com today and find the perfect prop firm for you. Back to you.
You know, that picture at the end looks like it could be me there. Like it.
Oh, I missed it.
Except for maybe a little bit more hair. But so this is not a typo on RNAS. It's a halt, probably like the 5th or 6th of the day. 4 times it's been halted. The tap is now $12.13. For those, I know a few people in the chat were asking about this. Halted at 10:30 something, 34, I guess. With now 12.20, it's indicating the open. The last halt, it gapped up $1.30, which is, that's obviously pretty impressive. Like a 7% gap up, and it's indicating that it wants to do exactly the same thing. So RNAZ looking pretty crazy to the upside. Are we just going to bounce off VWAP? My first thought is, if we're just going to hold on to VWAP here, I might go for I'm trailing out on trend underneath it, add to it at VWAP anyways, and then just keep the same stop here on Amazon. Oh, and AMD is getting close to VWAP as well. So if this bounces off, cancel that. We didn't actually get a chance. We didn't really
There it is.
didn't get the ad. We'll get VWAP out here on Advanced Micro Devices, shorting off of that high. If we bounce, going to take this one out. It's been spiking down relatively strong today.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one right there for SMR. We took the break of 50. We got it. It's up to 65. So we'll take quickly there 12 pennies. We literally got out of 5%. So let's go, man. It's going to be
another one.
So we'll props it up right there. So far so good. And this is the thing, we're doing these lessons and we talk about like, okay, if you like the stock, you can buy this at this level and punch out, blah, blah, blah. So, we talked about what's up, FUD Farmer, if you're here, I don't know, but we talked earlier today. Like, if you're going to punch this level, let's just say with 1,000 shares, okay? Like, you guys know we're on a prop firm, like buying power, like I've got about 98 problems, but buying power ain't one. And the thing is like, you could punch 1,000 shares right now, and right now you're sitting in a $100 winner in a minute, 2 minutes. So, judge your trades, judge your expectations the way you want to play it. I'm only at a 5%. So whatever, but just letting you know that these opportunities exist, maybe not for you guys for a long-term play, but for us right here. That's why I'm trying to talk to you guys about how we're trading. And that's why, what's up to everybody else? We're going to hit the hot dog cannon right now, because look what's happening to my guy, Apple right now. Nice move to the upside. We bought the dip. We talked about it. So yes, Neil, it is.
Another one.
Followed by?
Another one.
And then hopefully...
Another one.
I'll pass to Neil. Hopefully he'll give you guys another one. Right now it's Amazon and AMD over there, and we're on these names right now. Nvidia is $1 in the money. Shaking my rump is 15 cents in the money. SMR is a joke from a long time ago. It's like we called the advanced.
But I missed that one.
Yeah,
I never heard that joke.
It was from the after show.
Okay.
All right. So AAL. It was just they had missed earnings, and it was like. They don't have any earnings. That was the problem. That's just on speculation.
All it wants to do is zoom.
Zoom in your boom boom. To shake your rump.
Yeah, boom boom.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you had a clean way to say it.
Yeah.
Because I certainly did not have a clean way to finish that one.
I got this.
Rex and Effects.
I am the official DJ for the girls A rep team. So I have this app on my phone. I play the song.
What's Gia's walk up?
In her. No. Her walk-up song?
Yeah.
Is Super Gremlin. But I'm talking about for, okay, now you want it, oh crap, we're going to get, no, I'm talking about for hockey.
Oh, for hockey. No, you said,
this
my
is
first
what I
thought
play
is
when
walk-up songs. Yeah.
I could do that. This is fine. We're not going to get demonetized for this. Well, if we do, we do. It just comes out of Ram's paycheck, because she should know more about this. Okay.
We're not experts on that.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm the host.
Yeah,
so, you tell me about it. No, this is just horns. So, I don't know if this is
I see a lot of buttons there.
Yeah. Look, I got lots. I've got Love Shack on here. I've got lots of stuff on. I got Paper Planes. I got everything on here. But this is what we play when they score a goal. So hold on a second here.
We gotta
open this up, turn it up a little bit here. All right. By the way, Gia has 17 goals, and she is an absolute. Well, now it doesn't want to. Oh.
There it goes. It works.
All right, enough. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, so we play those horns. Everyone goes crazy. And then I go right into Hot to Go. And it's right into Hot to Go, and it's pretty hyped there. So we're getting ready to go. All right, just real quickly here. SMR right now is taking off. So there it is again, man. You guys are watching. Hopefully, props it up. Now let's do this one, because we just hit the siren. You see the connection here, what I'm doing? All right, so we actually got this from Jim Cramer. The minute we started doing the show, I was like, yo, I need to get some of these things. There it goes right now for SMR. So it's a nice move to the upside. We were waiting at 80s. We could punch some. Okay, let's just help and get a little bit out there. There you go. You see out at some 74s. You can read the tape there if you want. Nice move out there on 74. Let's now see if we get a nice little move to the upside. We just gave this to you. So far, so good on SMR. I'm waiting for 80s. And then I said, man, if we can get up here to 29, we'd be doing pretty good. Now remember, we're already 1-to-1. Our out on this was 25s. So we're already 1-to-1 on this one. Not a big trade alert, but a trade alert right there. We'll put that in the pocket. All right, Apple. We just got some out there. It went up to the 200 period moving average. We're still here and still trying to take it. So Apple, look at all those outs up there. So those are a bunch of outs at 08s. We also got some more outs at flat. So let's be very, very careful, because the futures really aren't doing anything. So we're going to have to just try to be as patient as possible right now and wait to see if we do get that topside break. It's all good, man. We've got NVIDIA long. We like that. We've got SMR, a name that's up 11% long. And then we have Apple. So I'm pretty comfortable right now. $1 in on this. This just bounced. This could be a good out here on NVIDIA, actually. Oh, wow. Too busy playing stupid horn songs there that we could have got that 146. So, all right, let's get a piece out here on NVIDIA as we're getting close enough to the 50 period. Not only that, it's getting close to
it's 310
squash time.
Well, when that bounce happened, see the one right there on Sean's chart, 146 on NVIDIA? You had this bit of a bottoming tail through a trail on AMD there in front of VWAP. Now, keep in mind, like AMD today has been pretty bullish. I mean, any short, like it's short the open, held the 120, 80 level, 121, and then this rounded top on AMD, like it's giving you 50 pennies, but already one bounce off VWAP. I'm just quickly going to go over to Nicola before it gets to $1 today. Oh, I did. Always have to remember you got to hit accept on the low case and then do the confirmation to make sure we get them. Nicola did a rollover and a dump through $1 earlier today, down 22%. It's retracing back into VWAP. It's already done one wick. I just paid for locates. VWAP is 94 cents. If it does another one of these like pop, I'm looking pop and drop here in Nicola. I mean, I'll show you the daily chart. I hope I don't have. I don't think anyone's surprised. The daily chart looks like this. So it already did a flat bottom break here in Nicola. I want to short into VWAP on this bad boy. Amazon, we definitely still like. We got a couple of reloads while Raider was on. It looks like we're now headed to break this 234 to get back into the high. But Nicola's a new one. If it pops maybe a couple of pennies, start getting in at 92, half or so into VWAP on that. Maybe they'll reverse split again, Nicola, because they haven't done that in a while. They're probably going to have to at some point. Nothing, well, whatever. I don't like bagging.
Stock ever reverse splits, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what happened. Look at this reverse split last time. Like, what do you do when the stock reverse splits? When Nicola reverse splits again, what do you think we should try to do?
Man, the minute these guys were rolling trucks down hills, I mean, we knew that there was a problem there with Nicola. So, all right, we just got out another look at NVIDIA right now. NVIDIA officially goes, what's up, Ozan? Nice little move right there for NVIDIA. Take it out as it just rips up. We get that 40 fill or 39 fill. What's up, Adara?
Here we have Trump-related executive orders on watch. Well, we are hearing apparently from one of his aides. Apparently, Trump is signing an order related to AI and also signing an order related to crypto. So finally, according to Trump's aide, we get our crypto executive order. I just noticed here because I have order books up and the MSTR book going wild here, guys, breaking out of this resistance. We're currently near 382s. Great look here for these crypto space. Keep an eye on Bitcoin, crypto names, and also AI names. So just to recap here, Donald Trump apparently signing executive orders related to both crypto and AI. Back to you.
If I'm long. Yeah, so I just punched long there. I don't need to do too much else here. We'll just wait. Like, we're not going to go long big. Let's just see what happens. If it comes back to 59.50, then fine. I mean, it's not a big position. We know sort of how parabolic crypto can eventually go. So let's just play it back to the 50 period. I mean, if it comes, look, don't trade this with many shares. Like, when there's breaking news, I think we can actually do a pretty good job discussing this with you guys, because when there's breaking news, it's not worth just piling in. It's just, let's just see where it goes. If we can buy some dips, we'll do that. But
if you hold VWAP here, I think
that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to wait to see it, hold VWAP. You want to see it, give it a chance right there. But if we break that 59.40 area, then I'm going to be gone out of this name. So worth a shot here for me on crypto. We'll just give it, like I said, we'll give it a shot and see if it wants to work. Small trade there. We'll try to get some more if it comes into the VWAP area. But for right now, let's just rest on it and play. Let's have some fun, right? I mean, into the close right now. We are now like really, really lit up now on NVIDIA. I mean, this is really starting to go to the upside right here. So NVIDIA, let's get a piece out at 49 if we can. Get that breakthrough, 49. Okay, we got it anyways. And then now Bitcoin. So we are now long. Looks like we did get that little bit of a refill up there. So this is my spot. We're long now at 93s here on IBIT, but so now Trump is going off. I mean, I'm listening to some more things. CNN is reporting this and that. He's pardoning more people. Joe Biden pardons everybody but himself, so that's hilarious. All right, so we'll wait to see what winds up happening now with IBIT.
Because he doesn't have to.
Oh, he's going to have to, man. Trump is going to find something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there goes VWAP.
Yeah, there goes VWAP on IBIT. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was in the same trade. I had 79 to the long side. That's crazy because 79 just came up again. Love that year. But if if it's going to wick out, sometimes you should wait for it to make the rounded bottom. So I'm willing to get out, and yeah, it's now holding VWAP. You know, let's just get it
out
smaller.
already,
Exactly, it wicked the bottom underneath VWAP. Now it's trying to come back in, and I can get the same price that we had before. Same average price in the mid-70s. So I'm going to take that, maybe give it to the local bottom. I did start getting into Nicola as well. Very different play. The other side of this coin, actually, okay, pun intended. Actually, it wasn't intended. The other side of this coin is Coinbase is kind of going in above VWAP, and MSTR, which usually does outsized moves. Bit of a lag. Like Bitcoin broke and went really far, but it's a different story there. Like the play, it seems like is very much in IBIT as opposed to MSTR. A lot of times you just want to punch long in MSTR, but this is seems like it's a different story here. So coin okay, Bitcoin, IBIT making some power moves back into the upside. Oh, good out on good out on AMD. The market's by the way, the market's also at the high of the day, and AMD is getting close to its high as well. Good thing we got out of that. Let's go to Adara again.
Trump's signing some more executive orders here. If there are any more that are market-related or market-moving, I will let you guys know. But the crypto and the AI-related ones are the only major market-moving ones I'm seeing. But UNH on watch here, seeing reports here that the United Health, which of course the parent company of United Healthcare, is actually promoting its Medicare chief to fill the job of Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson was the former CEO of United Healthcare, so the health insurance branch of UNH, and he was killed in what is deemed to be a targeted killing. So his job has now been filled here. UNH on watch, guys. Bit of a push to the downside.
Okay, so just real quickly right here. All right, so IBIT went up to $60. So we got some out there at $60 for the win, but we didn't get out of that much. So let's wait to see what winds up happening. We got out of our 5% or so. We're trying to do 5% steps. If this does break below the 50-period moving average, we're going to be very, very careful with that. We talked about it on news. You got to be careful. So we also, just as careful as we are, we got to be careful about our outs as well. So punching in and getting that FOMO, hey, what's up, we're human. So that does happen right there. But at the end of the day, there's more to come here on this story, I think. So we'll take out a little piece there. And hey, if it breaks lower, it breaks lower. I mean, we've traded IBIT earlier today. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So I was going to say, just live on the air, you just saw that sort of blow up in my face. But at the end of the day, we don't wind up losing so right there, IBIT, it's going to be bad, but we didn't put any emotional damage there to ourselves. It went up, we got some out, it came back in. So we're just playing this roller coaster ride right now. So not worth it for me. If anything, that would have been a great short, apparently, there for IBIT. So let's just stay tuned on this play. We did go up and down. We'll slap a fail on that right there. And again, we'll lose on that. But
I'll take that break every single time, though.
Yeah, we all lost on it for sure. But the good thing about it is that, what we lost there was basically 5% or whatever of what we made on NVIDIA today. So it's just about making sure you keep it in the pocket. What we lost there is less than what we have in Apple right now. And we only have 20% of this position left. So I hope I did a good job explaining that all to you, that when news hits like that, I don't put a lot of risk into there. And so that was a little bit of a percentage there of where it is in respect to what we've been doing. And then just before I go back to Neil, because we just got another out, and that was SMR. So again, another flat trade. I'm going to say fail. But okay, it's not a fail in the way that this rate here was the new 50 period. So we actually get out at 30 instead of getting out down here where the 50 period was. So basically 1-to-1, but we held more than 50% left. So it will be an L there for SMR. But again, just shaking my head again because it just didn't go. To me, that was well worth it. Our net is not really having too much emotional damage to it, but IBIT is all the way back up now too. So
this is one you're waiting. You're waiting today. The reason I really liked it is you're waiting today for something on crypto to get it going in a specific sense. We knew Trump was talking. Everyone was waiting for some executive orders. So you're looking for that volume spike continuation. In my mind, I started at no point. It got to 60 at one point. I think I took out like 10%. Like I was thinking hold for bigger highs. That chart's no good. Let's just go to a higher time frame chart here. Like I'm thinking, why aren't we getting back to 107? And as a matter of fact, yeah, there it goes now. They just had to rinse everybody out and then go. Yeah, see, it ends up being a very strong move here for Bitcoin, but it's still very parabolic. It couldn't hold any of the lows. Basically, just it held the low, and it didn't really hold any prior bar low. So it has to be maybe more patient with it. See if we can't get some fall through. Still 40 minutes left in the day, and the good thing about crypto is it doesn't necessarily matter that much about the close. You don't have to worry about 350, any of that nonsense. So you're going to get that follow through. If we can try to maybe close a bar above VWAP here, I don't know if it'll give you consolidation. Look at it. Now it's at like 60-30 and continue to go higher. For the record, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, the market just got to the highs. I didn't even see that happen. Amazon just got to target. And I'm a believer, again, I like trend lines. You guys have probably seen it. I tend to like to leave these in. Like if I'm getting in earlier on this trend and then it holds the same level of support, this lines up with the level of resistance. So that's kind of why I had the order out in front of 234. Just a key technical level and the prior trend line off the original bounce off this level. So you take it once, it works. You take it twice and keep the trend line on. It gives you like a $1.10 move. But that IBIT, that's annoying because I feel like this one is going to be good. We're going to get chop in Bitcoin, but it still feels like we're in an upward trend. I like the fact that 100K held today. That's a great sign for us. Next thing would be to test that 107, and then we can be off to the races. There was some, I was asking about Roku to Adara, because a few people have mentioned, look at Roku. Respect. Apparently nothing that Adara could find, but this seems like a pretty decent volume spike that's being sustained. Bigger volume in the last half an hour on Roku than it had at the open, which is generally speaking when a lot of the volume happens, open first 30 minutes of the day, last 30 minutes of the day. So Roku's moving on some volume. Want to respect it. It is going right into big resistance at 85. So if it gets a little bit higher, not a bad place to take a little bit of profit.
Yeah, respect for that one. I mean, Neil took a shot there on IBIT, so did I. Unfortunately, it's all the way up. But look at where NVIDIA is right now. We're taking more out of this one. Apple's ripping. So everything is completely all good, man. We're actually at the highest spot we've been at all day right now because of some of these moves. And like I said, I'm just trying to tell you the way it is for me. I don't have like the risk that I had on IBIT. I mean, we're covering it up with NVIDIA right now and with Apple, as both these names get a little bit going to the upside, but still not a great move right there. Powell also speaking right now. And by the way, Jerome, you're more and more irrelevant every single day. So let's go over and see what happens and what Adara's saying. Oh, you didn't? Okay. All right. So, yeah, the reason why I was saying that about the Fed is like right now you actually have a president that cares a lot about the stock market and nothing about the Fed. So no, Ramin, no. All right. So the thing about it is that Donald Trump came out already today and said, I want lower rates. Like, it's his third day in office. Like, I've never a fourth day. I'm not, like, Joe Biden doesn't even, I mean, look, I never heard him mention interest rates or anything like that. This guy, like Donald Trump, basically just bang, all about the stock market. So I would say, obviously, Fed's going to matter. The guy's going to keep looking at data. But let's be perfectly honest. It's some of these executive orders. It's some of the trade deals. It's the tariffs. It's all of that that's going to matter. I think we're through this little interest rate worrying about it. If CPI gets out of control, obviously, then we'll have to look at the rate and figure that all out. So I just wanted to say,
how is
Powell, your time has come, unfortunately.
Well, my whole thing is, where is he talking and why is it not? The Fed chair shouldn't be. Yeah, let's go to Adara. I don't know why. It didn't show up on any of my economic calendars he was talking today. Yeah. Let's go to Adara.
That's because Powell's not speaking. So what happened was the headline you probably heard was that Donald Trump says he would like to speak to Powell about interest rates. So if you heard the words Powell and speaking together, that's probably what you heard. Basically, Donald Trump saying that he would, quote, consider talking to Powell on interest rates and that he expects the Fed to listen to him on interest rates. So basically, Donald Trump saying that he is, I guess, willing to discuss interest rates with the Fed. We'll have to see what and if that entails, but I just really wanted to correct that. I repeat, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is not speaking today, nor is he scheduled to speak today, guys.
Yeah, and that's why we have an economic,
Nor does
with
it
the
matter
economic
when he does
calendar
speak on it,
out there because and they'd be in a blackout anyways. Like it's the little things like that. Let's be real. We're in earnings season, right? I know the banks start earnings season, but for a lot of you that look at tech, we got Netflix, and then you start to really get into the nitty gritty end of the month. We're going to get some of the big boys reporting, and then late February, we're going to get NVIDIA. That's what it's all about here. All of that market is overvalued, price to earnings ratio stuff that you get. A lot of that gets cleared up when you start getting some impressive reports. Like you blow things out or have great metrics like Netflix did, and people don't worry as much about the valuation in the short term. So I think that's what we have to lean into, these reports, and that's why the aftermarket show is so important to go over it in real time, see what the price action is, how's the market actually reacting to those numbers, and then we'll be better poised to navigate these markets because it's a valuation year, and that just means earnings seasons, all of them are going to be super important.
Yeah, this is a super important earnings season. I've already said the market is just straight northbound. I expect most of these tech stocks to be infinitely higher, and I'm talking my own book, I own them all, infinitely higher than where they are now. I really am excited for Q4. We'll see what winds up happening. I mean, if Apple can do something, that would really be impressive. I think Meta is going to knock it out of the water. We already saw Netflix there. I mean, Microsoft, that's the one that we'll have to see what kind of levers they can pull, but NVIDIA's, I really am excited to hear about NVIDIA. And what they're going to do. When is
NVIDIA 26th of February? I think Microsoft's problem is they're not monetizing their AI.
I know, that's why I really want to hear.
And then remember, it's like Apple got punished for that in a certain sense. So like, is Microsoft going to get punished for that? That's what will concern me with Microsoft. But I'm pretty good. I'm bullish on all of them.
The problem is, you got to wait.
Microsoft. NVIDIA, it's good, I think, that we have to wait. Get everyone else out there, all the hyperscalers, and then say how much more money they're spending, and then we get NVIDIA. I
mean, NVIDIA's already going to be like, I don't know, man. Like even before they report, it could be way up. Like he said, if the hyperscalers are sort of ramping up spending, and you'll hear from their reports if they are doing that. Speak of the devil, and NVIDIA's still doing it, man. It's 3:27. I want to welcome everybody again, to the show. Thank you so much for all of the support. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. Thank you for the super chats. We had some great wings there. That was fantastic. Randy and Joe had about, I think, 30 or 40 each. And then I think Ramin had probably 15 or 20. And then as we go,
I did not have the most.
I had 4. I had 2 of the garlic parmesan and then 2 of the lemon pepper, but maybe we'll have another one during the after show. Okay, so I might go get one now, actually.
Yeah, that's you gotta.
All right, so 220. We're starting to go upside right now on Apple. Can we get to the dollar club? I mean, if we get to the 200 period, that would be great. Lost there, but definitely winning right here as we bought the dip on Apple. So let's just keep on seeing where that one wants to go for us. It seems like upside. Crypto upside. Crypto 106 right now. We dipped and dived and ducked and dodged, but eventually we still got the hammer in the face there, and we lost on that play. But again, it's not like it's our worst stock or anything like that. It's just a stock that we wound up losing on. IBIT, that last little bit there, we had a nice bid up, and then it fell back down. So we have one out up here at $60, and then the ultimate out there once we broke through that 30 level or 25 or whatever that was there, the 50 period moving average. Yeah, 30s. So, all right, now holding out hope that Bitcoin continues to go. The thing is, we've already been up here before. So I think the real play, and again, I just lost on it. So what I think, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, maybe we just wait for a confirmed break of that high of like $62. That's a while away. So, I don't know. That might be a little bit too much patience to wait for that play.
Oh, that's so dirty.
Might not come in today. What is it?
Volume spike on Nicola. Oh, why am I not long? That was wild. That did not fill. So this just happened on Nicola. I'm in it short underneath 94. It's tanking into 90. It then runs through the stop of the high through like 98. You try to keep it in the pocket. At the end of the day, I'm thinking this is getting back into the $80 level. There must have been some kind of news on Nicola there, but that was a huge liquidity grab. Let it settle down a little bit here on Nicola. That's a wild one. Like it was clean holding that 94. It was churning. I was just getting filled at the 90 level. I actually had a bid down at like 85. There was no fills through there. And then a breakout through VWAP. Churned it through 98. It looks like it's settling down a little bit here. So I'll let it suss out. If it's going to hold VWAP, fine. But there was no news for this move, and now there's no news for that move. I'd be inclined to step away because that was a very calm move into VWAP, which was going pretty much as you would normally expect. And then all of a sudden, they do like a crazy liquidity grab back and forth. And it is SSR as the other side of that coin. Like it's 20% down. So it is the uptick rule in effect when it goes up and down like that. Like you can't hit the bid when it's flashing into the downside. So when someone's selling in that regard, that's a long that's bringing it back down. Like when it spikes to $1, everyone that's selling in that range, when it slams back down, there has to be someone holding a bit of a long position. Yeah, now it looks like it's coming right back underneath. So if it's going to hold under, I'm going to go back to this VWAP, and if it comes back down, because that had to be, like I was saying, that liquidation when it fell through 1, that's almost certainly longs getting out because you can't short sell unless there is an uptick. I feel like those bit of a lick grab there. Yeah. 94 is still going back to holding.
So a couple of tough trades there with IBIT and Nicola, but that's the problem with news. It's like you gotta, lower your defaults, be patient with it, and watch it. Because like I was just looking at IBIT, and it just fell again. It just fell $1 like immediately. I'm watching this and having a good time doing that. I'm not sure we need to do anything other than watch right now on IBIT and see if we can get something going the other way maybe here. Because right now it's not doing a whole heck of a lot here, IBIT. It's like technically it's moving a lot, but are we going to hold VWAP? Do you want to trust it? You might have got stopped out there. Do you want to trust this? I did, went down, still wicked the top, then wicked the top of the day like 3 or 4 times and fell back down. I mean, our spidey senses are going off when we see plays like that. All right, let's go over to Darren. I'm going to go get a wing over there.
Yeah, we have Nicola here on the move, getting some volume increase. Bloomberg reporting that the company is exploring some options to address its cash issues, basically apparently considering potential sales partnerships or raising some capital. So this follows here some rumors, I guess, on X from Fred Lambert, that is the editor-in-chief of Electrek, which is a EV-based publication. They talk a lot about Tesla, lots of those reports. Basically, Fred Lambert said this morning that he was seeing some reports of middling credibility, suggesting that the CEO of Nicola, Stephen Gursky, is leaving the company and that its bankruptcy is basically being filed as in the hands of the lawyers. So this Bloomberg report actually kind of contrasting what we're seeing here. We're going to have to wait and see. Either way, there seems like there is some type of trouble financially happening for Nicola. I also just saw a headline right now from Trump. So keep an eye on Chinese tickers. Trump saying, quote, China is already paying a lot of tariffs because of me. So watch out here, China tariff news coming right from Trump, guys. Back to you.
Well, that kind of tracks. Like that news comes out and then somebody probably hits the cover on a short position when the news hits. And I'm thinking back to, who was it? Bed Bath & Beyond, or was it the other one? It might have been Bed Bath & Beyond, or maybe it was Hertz, where when the actual story came out, sort of confirming that bankruptcy could be imminent, there was an initial spike because it had already dropped. So you could be seeing something along that. I think I was just trolled when someone said, hey, Neil, can you have a look at the volume spike in Rigetti? Because I was like, really? What is Rigetti doing? Like the quantum names, you know what? Not necessarily a bad thing if you're consolidating back up here at 13. I know it's down 3.5%. There's no volume right now, but I know it's down 3.5%, but this isn't necessarily a bad sign. You basically held this support for a couple of days. Obviously, a bit of a flat bottom break could come into play here. And the daily chart, as long as you can hold a higher low above resistance, then the stair step back up is contained. But you got to watch out, not necessarily just for $13, but if you lose like 11.5. Why there's no volatility today on the quantum stocks, that I don't have a particularly good answer for. I can't think of a day where Rigetti's less boring. And sometimes it'd be like that. Like I'm in the short, it's probably the right call. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20. Like I said, if you trade this without a stop, yes, you would still be winning if you trade it without a stop, but you got to look at it the other way. Like what happens if there's a positive news story and it halts up on you? Like always make sure you have an out. I'm probably not going to get 94s again. So I'll walk away from that and go right back over to Amazon, which could be pulling into VWAP. It's 334. So probably one last chance for, I think, the big cap techs before we get the imbalances. I'm going to go back to square one with the first position that we were in when we came back in the afternoon. Oops, I want the imbalance locator, not my quote board, which we were talking about in the middle of the day.
look at E-Signal, look at SMR. I mean, it just like, again, look, we're here, man, but that barbecued us up a little bit there because we're flat on the stock. It's fine, but I just want to show everybody, like, that's what happened. You know, like, we can't be here and talk about these wins and this and that and not just focus. We talked about this loss as it happened. It's just like, yeah, ouch, right there on SMR because we picked that out because it's the 50 period. I just should have been a little more patient maybe at the 200, but like trading is all hindsight. And, you know, you're going to look back and you just can try to do better next time. But again, we called the move, but it did go against me 15 cents and I punched out. So, on that one. Okay, all right, so that's what that is. That's SMR. Thanks for bringing that up in the chat. Okay, we got some more out of Apple there. I did not go and grab a wing because, you know, the market was trying to make a move. And like the market's not moving maybe, but it's Apple that just fell down. So we get out of the majority of our position right there at 2270. We'll hold the last like 5% in for that move. You want me to do it, Ramin? All right, then make sure you do scan that QR code right there on your screen. Why? Because you want to be part of E-Signal. Trade smarter, not harder. Grab a software that you can trust. Grab charting that you know is not going to skip a beat. You're not going to have data issues or anything like that. I haven't in over 20 plus years of using E-Signal. The thing I like about it the most are the scanners, of course, and the easy to use platform. You can connect it to over 50 plus brokers. There is a wide array of tools available in E-Signal. Plus with their customer support, you have any questions, you can hit them up. Look at that. Data, live data for over you could track 500 symbols at once. I mean, that's the thing. I have personal quote boards. We have quote boards for everything. I mean, you know, this is popular on many different platforms, but E-Signal makes it simple. You can have your quantum, your nuclear names, your MAGA names, anything you want to create, make it live and make it happen with E-Signal. These scanners are absolutely hot fire. I use E-Signal all the time. And you can see, like, I'll pull them down into the screen and show you guys. There are VWAP scanners. And if there's ever a chance to back test and you want reliability, that's the number one thing. Like, if you back test against bad data, then who knows what are you actually testing? E-Signal, it's trustworthy, it's reliable, it is the number one charting software.
Important point.
There.
Important point, right? Because if your data is corrupted, it's going to give you corrupted answers, and you're going to take real traders off that. Let's go back over to there. We have another update here, I think, on Nicola. Yeah. Maybe.
It's actually not Nicola related. This has to do with UNH. I mentioned this earlier, but it's worth it because we're still seeing a bit of a push to the downside with volume. Basically, United Healthcare, which of course is a subsidiary of United Health, they did have their CEO, Brian Thompson, who was killed in what was deemed a targeted attack. That was back in December. Now, as reported here by Bloomberg and CNBC, they actually have found a replacement for Brian Thompson. His name is Tim Noel. Tim Noel has been with United Healthcare since 2007 and has served as their Medicare chief. So Tim Noel here reportedly taking over for Brian Thompson as the new CEO of United Healthcare, as UNH kind of has a bit of a slide here. I'm not seeing anything new on Nicola, though, I have to say. Back to you.
Yeah, and it is going back down, but I'm not going to... The thing about that move is, remember, when it caught a bid, it was 90 to like $1 like that. So that's like 10%. So if you chase a move, if out's 94 at VWAP, if you chase that move like 5% down, you're just getting yourself rinsed. On the early look imbalances, with 10 minutes to go to the imbalances,
10 minutes already?
There's a random ETF that I'm going to look up.
Go Apple.
I don't know what BTG, I'm assuming this is an ETF. I don't know it otherwise. And it's like 17 million to buy. I haven't seen an index action, but it's only a $2 symbol. So really it's just Enbridge and then whatever this might be.
No, it's a gold company.
It's a gold company? Okay.
B2 Gold.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's only $2, so it's not a lot notional value, but it's 30% of the day's volume, which is pretty significant. And then GoEV is supposed to be a deletion, but that's a penny stock. So not everybody can trade symbols that are under 50 cents. If that comes up, if I see a penny stock getting deleted and there's a sell imbalance, like that's an easy usual take, but GoEV only 30 cents. Well, how the mighty have fallen on that one.
All right, we got a mighty. All right, so
obviously they were never mighty.
We reloaded here on Apple. So Yeah, I mean, it just fell right into our pocket again here, so that's the trade. Now you're starting to break a little bit higher. Let's get some more out here on 63s if we can. There we go, on Apple. We'll see. We didn't get them, but it's at 63 right now. Let's go to 70s, see if we can get those as well. So far, so good here on AAPL as, yeah, we're making it happen right now on Apple. So nice move higher there. We just bought 53s. This is a brand new position for us. I mean, it's an averaged in position, but you can consider it a brand new one. So smooth little 10% up, 10%, I wish. 10 cents up right now. We're not going to get a $20 move on Apple right now, I don't think, but nice move up there. We'll cash out a little bit. It's probably going to lose that bottom. That's our stop, is a stop through 40. We already talked about that. We've had that set up for a minute. Stop through 40 there on Apple. Let's see what winds up happening if that does come out. And again, this trade right here, it's 13 cents worth of a risk. So not many shares here with only 5 minutes, 9 minutes now until we get the imbalances. So still some time for those to hit. And we don't want to really be in Apple if those imbalances do come through. All right, after hours, we have ISRG, which is Intuitive Surgical. Whoops, not in Blue Ocean, ISRG, right there, live right here on the NASDAQ. Not a well-traded name by us, and the reason why is, of course, the price. Over 607 right now with a 50-cent spread. We'll watch out for ISRG here tonight, but that's Intuitive Surgical. You want to talk about, we had Raider Trader on, smart kid, but this is also a great name for robotics, right? I mean, they're the ones that are literally putting all of those surgeries together with robots. So Intuitive Surgical, a good little name today, as well as, I'm going to go to Darren 1 second, as well as CSX, the rails. So we can find out here what's going on with transportation. We talked about FedEx and UPS and all that, joining Dara and I on the after show. If you do have any questions, I don't think we have a guest today. So if there's any questions or anything, get them in the chat now. Bears vs. Bulls can handle those. We'll do a little Q&A as we talk about more earnings. Texas Instruments, though, that's the big one. Adara.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Definitely check out the market recap show tonight at 4 p.m. Also check out Alarity Therapeutics, ALLR. This is another small cap, literally hitting the scene just now. This is a almost 2 million share volume candle, relative volume of about 5.5. And it's worth noting, I have found zero news on this. It was not running earlier. Only 4 million shares traded on the day, but they have rallied in the past, like in previous days or weeks. They do have a float of 1.4 million shares, and 6.8% of that float is going to be sold short. With ALR, I couldn't even find any recent news. The most recent story in the stock on Benzinga is from November 18th, 2024. Back to you.
Interesting. Okay. Just real quickly, if you guys are noticing anything here, it is AAL. So we just had that dip down in the market. American Airlines. Look, it was posted here on the sticky note to go short at $18. The problem is we didn't. Look, it's a good trade for the day. I mean, obviously this is going to be a good trade, but because it happened so early, we don't have like our usual position here on AAL. Like I have the same amount of shares like on AAL that I would like on Apple, and AAL is like an $18 stock as opposed to 200. So I wish we had a little bit more, to talk about, but coming back into 17, a nice little fade. We will take it out ahead of course, the imbalance. So that will hit, and we'll deal with it once the imbalance does, but we're going to get out at 17 right there. And then just an update, Apple does fall out. So I know we made money on this, but the last one we wind up, again, taking some out on the way in and then losing it on the way out. So a little frustrating there to end the trade with Apple, but still really great trade in the afternoon. Just could have been a little bit better if we had gotten everything out at the 200. So we're learning every day. You want to make sure that you follow your rules, and we're doing that. But, 200 period moving average at the end of the day is a better indicator than I give it credit for. So that would be something to remember for tomorrow. I just see Intel on the radar. Is that going up or down today? Because I'm still long that name.
Well, down actually. We're going to get to Moderna in a second. A few questions about that stock. Yeah, Moderna's up 10% today.
Really?
You're going to laugh when you see that chart. Intel feels like it hasn't done it yet. I probably should have mentioned it's kind of a flat bottom break, but I don't see what's going to cause that to happen. The market's at the highs. It's really not moving anymore. But come on, this is the Friday's close, and it's kind of a fail at 22, and then first stage today. I mean, you lose this bottom. Intel, a little bit of a gap fill, which would still be, it's still on an upward trend from the low. It's sort of saying it's running into some trouble. It's Moderna. I didn't see this one. Shout out to everyone that mentioned this in the chat just now. yeah, not really tracking Moderna on a daily basis. I might throw this back on the quote board. I took it off my quote board, and it probably deserves a spot. When you see action like this, it should get your attention. Obviously, this is a squeeze type name of a stock that has been getting burned for quite some time. The last time it closed above the 50-period moving average, it did a gap up and then rinsed everybody for 3 days back to a new fresh low. So that's the caveat here. Looks like it's again going to close the 50-period moving average. If it gaps up, I'm a little more excited if it breaks the prior high or bounces and shows you a bid off of this 50-period at 41. So one of those two things would get me long on this stock. It's a short till proven otherwise, and I feel like when you're that bad, I mean, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And an extraordinary claim would be that Moderna is going into an upward trend. So I need some really convincing proof. Yeah, we're not going to get, I don't think we'll get Amazon anywhere near approximating. Forget about the low, not even getting VWAP here. It's just barcoding off of the high, so there might not be another crack at it here. And just to show you, because I think maybe it is what it is, man. Like, I'll slap the fail. I can't know there's going to be a lit grab in that situation on Nicola, but I had to stop, got to be able to respect it. I had just added to it at 94, 93.9 or whatever. Our position board doesn't really give you those decimals, which do matter when you're trading a penny stock, but Nicola rinsing right underneath. We've done this before with stocks that have gone into bankruptcy. I always look at it this way. If we have a stock going under, potentially, I don't want to say it before it happens, then as long as prior resistance holds, I want to take shots at it. Because I can tell you, and it was Bed Bath & Beyond, certainly after it announced it, there was a point where we were shorting every single pop almost every single day, and you just weren't losing until it eventually was gone. And if Nicola has that kind of a fate, then you want to take some shots at it. I think we had to pay for locates, which I didn't mention. And I did Rubicon. I'll show it a little bit longer in bounces in 2 minutes, the daily chart on Moderna. If I flashed over that too quickly, this is today. Actually, yesterday had a big move too. And this is the daily chart on mRNA. So like I said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So you want to say this is an upward trend and breaking out, you got to do something like prove it. Shorts cover when levels like this get broken, not necessarily freaking out when they could have it at $130 or on $90 or anywhere down the line.
All right, yeah, with only 2 minutes to go, yeah, always try to zoom out. You can look at the daily on Moderna or something like that. It's been pretty brutal for sure. On NVIDIA, my stop is going to be this break of the 200 period. That would be 10s, but I'm going to give it to that bottom right there. Break of O's. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening there with NVIDIA. Still a good trade. It's $1 in the money, but with imbalances coming out, maybe the imbalances will be our way and we'll be able to get a upside move. Nice to have Raider Trader come on and talk about XBI. I mean, I've been buying XBI for a minute. I didn't even notice the play today. And again, you have Moderna up and you have some of these rallies, but XBI has been getting hit, right? We first started buying this thing at $100, and just like Uber, we've been buying it on the way down, and it just fell right into some decent support levels. So yeah, 87 and 9. I think my best buy was at 90 there, coming back in, but maybe a little bit lower, but nothing to write home about. We'd like to get this thing above the 200 period, to really signal that all this garbage is out of here. So I like a break right here of like 95, 96 on XBI. Again, this is the biotech. You could also grab IBB, but I've been layering into XBI. I don't know why. I looked at the different holdings. I own AbbVie and all this stuff. So IBB again, they're all biotech. So that's a nice move there for IBB, and you can see something very similar on the daily with that name. Okay, with only a minute to go right now. Of course, you did that Apple. I mean, we got out of SMR there, and Apple again. Oops, that's AAL. Yeah, AAL. That was a good move, but still goes lower. What I meant to show you here was Apple. So there goes Apple. We got out on the 40 break. It's now back up to 60. So again, different stop than me. Maybe you're still in, but I myself am out right now of Apple. And not wishing we were in more, but just, our level broke. And the same thing happened there on SMR, where we wound up getting out and then it ripped up. So with only 20 seconds now to go, I think it's pretty good that if you have some if you have some stop orders in for some tech names, probably worth getting ready to do that with. So I'm on NVIDIA right now. So let's wait to see what winds. Oh, NVIDIA, that's IBIT. By the way, look at IBIT right now. Crypto coming back down.
Wow.
That's what I mean. So here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what happens now with NVIDIA. NVIDIA must be a buy. Nice little move there to the upside. So NVIDIA comes a nice buy.
Apple too, Amazon as well.
Yeah, so
Palantir
of course, Apple. They're all
Google
coming bids, man. I mean, look at Apple
This
right
will be
there.
$1 billion.
Yeah, they're right on my screen. So they're all there. BMY, of course, we just talked about XPI. That's a sell. But everything else seems to want to go upside right now. So let's be patient with it. I'm out of Apple. That would have been a nice gift. But we'll take the gift on NVIDIA as that rips upside as well. Probably worth getting out now on NVIDIA. Let's put a stop, 146.39. If it breaks below that, we will get, my other stop is still in there, 146.30, 146.29. Let's do that as our stop. 39 is pretty close. There it is. We're locked and loaded. Hopefully we'll be able to capture a little bit of profit here. Again, thank you for watching today. It's been a big show. There goes NVIDIA to the upside. More than $1 in the money. It's the trade of the day for me. It's NVIDIA. And it's just starting to go even higher. Had it early, had it late. There goes NVIDIA.
Yeah, for everybody out there, if you're having issues with the audio, it's actually a YouTube thing. Just refresh the stream. That seems to be working for everybody. Like, it's not a mic thing on our end. So if that was cutting out, it should be able, just a quick little refresh, and you should be good to go there. So about to go, I mean, the market, the NASDAQ just broke the high of the day. We're like a smidge away from going green. Amazon did break with buying balances across the board. 1.4 million to buy overall for the market. 1 billion to buy on the NASDAQ. The Dow was to buy 350. The Mag 7 only 550 million, but I mean, they were all buys on the, it was like a mill across the board with the exception of Google. So let's go back over to the desk. We've got Adara.
Being aware here of IBIT, I was just hearing, so basically I was just reading here, apparently the specifics of that executive order that Trump apparently signed about half an hour ago with regards to crypto, basically it's to create a cryptocurrency working group. I'm just hearing in my ear though, apparently he's also signing some action related to blocking a digital central currency. So that is pretty interesting here. I would like to hear more about that. Just letting you guys know I'm hearing something about Trump blocking a digital central currency. Back to you.
That's not.
I was gonna say I'm fine with
actually
we want to know more about Bitcoin. I mean, a central digital currency. I mean, it should be Bitcoin. So we'll wait to see. I don't know enough.
I think it's good. You don't want the Fed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's a good thing, but for right now, if we look at what Bitcoin's doing, we're at lows again right now for crypto. It's not liking whatever these stories are. So thanks, Adara, for bringing it up. I mean, if you guys are crypto followers or anything like that, hey, there it is. What's up, Marty? You are welcome, man. Let's just go props up to you because, hey, no matter what you're doing, Marty, I remember spending time with you on this as well a couple weeks ago maybe. And thank you so much. Thank you, Sean Katina. Thank you for the imbalance lesson. Just hit a banger on that.
Another one.
So props up right there. I mean, another one of our viewers right there and fellow trader that's taking advantage of things that they've learned on the show. So we want to say a big hella thank you for that because we're trying to be as real as possible. All right, 146.60 right now. That's a nice move. I'm waiting at 146.80 to see if I can get something out, even some more out here on NVDA. So let's see if we can get that one. What's up, eh?
Yeah, actually, from what I'm hearing in my ear, we have some more details about Trump's crypto executive order. Apparently, as I just mentioned, the executive order is to create a cryptocurrency working group. Now, from what I'm hearing, apparently what the cryptocurrency working group will do is study the digital asset stockpile. So I'm not hearing anything specifically related to Bitcoin. And with that, IBIT actually getting a bit of a push to the downside. So again, I want to clarify just what I'm hearing right now, but there is a crypto related executive order, which seems to have very little to do with Bitcoin itself and more to do with this digital assets stockpile. Also, Trump apparently saying he'd like to see interest rates come down, quote, a lot. So keep an eye on Trump and the Fed because that's been a little bit of an interesting relationship we've heard about in the past 30 minutes or so. Back to you.
Look, I guess sell the news because any stockpile starts with Bitcoin. That's just
wow.
That's just
I mean that's what I was saying. It doesn't make too much sense. But right now, just quickly here because we'll just do a hot dog can. Because honestly, I got this from the idea where you're firing off those T-shirts. in concerts or in sporting events and stuff like that. So that was kind of where I got that from. All right, so just really quickly here. Yeah, there goes NVIDIA. I was going to wait for the high of the day of 80, but we got out at 75 or something instead. So far so good there on our friend NVDA as it just continues to rifle northbound, man. I mean, a great trade it looks like there on NVDA to end the day. So again, we just bought right there at 145.30s. There goes NVIDIA, Rip City, Rip City. Shout out to Portland, Oregon. But there it goes, man. NVIDIA stays bid. Bye-bye 147 right now. So, I mean, this has been quite the run, man. I hope you guys are learning something and, getting the ideas here about, there it goes, man. What's up, Marty? There it goes, 147.
Another one.
Man, oh man, props up. That was what a trade on NVIDIA to end the day. Andre, what's going on, my guy? Nice move up there, up into 147. We put the icing on the cake at the end of the day. It's too bad that Apple punked us, but it is what it is. We're really happy. We made money on Apple, so they didn't punk anybody. But that move on NVIDIA, oh boy, was that a good one. All right, what's up, Adara?
Sorry for all the interruptions. We have yet another news catalyst here. Rumble, RUM, actually getting some volume here into the close. The company's CEO, Chris Pavlovski, posted on X a couple of minutes ago basically saying that he can confirm they're going to be introducing a Rumble wallet. Basically, it seems like it's an internal payment system to allow creators to transact with one another. So either way, RUM here introducing its wallet. Rumble also, it's worth noting, has a bit of a connection with JD Vance, vice president here. Basically what happened is JD Vance's Naria Capital had a pretty large investment in Rumble back in 2021 or 2022. Also here, in case anyone missed the crypto news, basically what happened here was, from what I'm hearing, this cryptocurrency-related executive order is not at all what we think it is. Trump has apparently just issued a crypto working group to look into the digital assets in terms of what they have in logs, so it doesn't actually look like it has anything to do with Bitcoin.
Boo. So look, obviously the NASDAQ just went green. You saw all that. Some of the names did flip and they continue to go higher anyways. Like Amazon paired a bunch off and it still broke the high of the day. So that's a strong buy. If at 355 you pair down and break higher still, that's always going to be a big thing to watch. Amazon, okay, got to exactly yesterday's high. And it leaves the breakout of the all-time high intact for tomorrow. I don't have to tell anybody. Amazon was a rocket yesterday. It's a rocket today. And it's 12 cents away from an all-time high break. With 2 minutes to go, there's no taking of an all-time high break today. But much like the last couple of sessions, only looking long on Amazon till proven otherwise. Strong end of it. You love where the markets close, not where they open, where they close. And it seems to me like rotation out of sell the news on BTC or everything crypto related and throw it back into big tech. I think that's a lot of what probably just happened here from a technical standpoint. And I think it's probably just presents us with a buying opportunity on Bitcoin. So I don't think it's the end of the world. Sometimes they just sell the news when there's nothing bad about that news in my humble opinion. But yeah, great day to end the market. You do always want to see late money is the better money overall. Because when people put the money in at the end of the day like this at highs, it shows a good sign of confidence. And likewise, if people are just covering shorts. So let me just cancel a script because we don't want anything triggering over there. We do have some earnings after markets, like we have Texas Instruments going to be coming through. And of course, you're going to be able to join Sean and Adara at the desk for that. He's a little bit disappointed in the reaction in IBIT. But when you put the move into perspective, it's still not that bad. Like the same range that we put in has been held. So you bounced off 100K. You're bouncing off 103 now, and you're just sort of consolidating a higher low. I think ultimately that's not the end of the world. I don't think it's the outcome anybody wanted today. I thought maybe you'd get a chance to break out that 107, take a run at the 109, but it can't always go in that direction. Yeah, Shredman 59, everything is heading to the upside. Whether it's NVIDIA, Apple took a little jaunt there. You also had Amazon, although I don't know that you can give as much credence to Tesla. Nice little bounce for Tesla. You were just mentioning Tesla strong. It's just getting off the schneid. More of a relief rally for Tesla than them. And shout out to Nimrod. Once again, Nimrod, thank you for the shekels, my friend. Made 2 months rent. The rent is too damn high everywhere. last couple of days copying Sharif on BLBX, Wrecker, DWTX, and LTBR. How do you guys identify and decide on which small and medium tickers to trade? How do they pop up on your radar? Only 15 seconds. First things first, have a scanner. You want it, whether it's e-signal, whatever it might be, you need an effective scanner. I know for a fact that's exactly what Sharif does. He has a scanner up for different types of symbols that fit his parameters in there for sure. And ring it, Adara, the market is closed. Yeah, so sorry, I was trying to quickly get that answer in as fast as I could there for you. With the bell, the closing bell in there. Doesn't mean you're going anywhere. The market is still open, but absolutely, Nimrod, it's really important. If you're looking for, rapid movers, if you're looking for small cappers, they're going to pop up on volume scanners. They're going to pop up on relative volume scans. They're going to pop up on percentage moves intraday. So there's all kinds of ways on any decent platform, I should say, for you to create a quote board or watch list or watch a swath of stocks maybe in a price range that you'll look for like volume spikes in a certain time period, and then they'll pop on your radar before they happen. So I think those opportunities are certainly out there for you if you're willing to take advantage of them. So hopefully that helps you, Nimrod. And don't be shy. Like, just ask Sharif in the middle of the day specifically how he has his settings on his platform. So let's get on over to the desk. You guys know it's been a fun one. Thank you so much for the wings. We appreciate the super chats for them. We enjoyed those. Shout out to the Midday Boys who are responsible for it. And a big thanks to Fabian and Ramin for making us look and sound good. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is sit back, relax, because the market recap is coming at you right about now.
Might have too much action. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's my girl, Adara. We're excited for the recap show. She's dancing over here. I don't know what's going on. How is that? Would you have a little extra step in that water there or something? Look, Adara is very excited. The reason why, we just had a drop of a bunch of news, right? So much news. All right, you got to keep talking because they got to adjust. Talking. Okay, it's over.
We had all the news. And this is Sean.
Come on, Ramin.
Hello, Sean.
Get that figured out over there, Ramin. All right, there we go. Hey, Adara, how's it going?
You're great.
All right, good. Look, today, the SPY, nice little move there at the end of the day, a huge move, actually. Brand new, guess what? It's an ATH. Looks like we got an all-time high, I think, right now on the SPY. Huge move there at the end of the day. Extension northbound on the spiders.
TXN earnings.
Let's call it up. Okay, yeah, my earpiece is not working, so we do have Texas Instruments. No,
I will get to that.
Go ahead. Yeah, look into it. We do have Texas Instrument earnings. Let's flip it over to a minute chart and figure out what exactly Texas Instruments is doing.
Great report.
Downside and upside. So down. Okay, great report. It is going down right now, Texas Instruments. So what was a decent day for Texas Instruments, now making that move back down. So we'll flip this over back into a daily chart and just get where this was. Texas Instruments above the 200 period before we started the day, but definitely well off its highs. So Adara, now, as I look at Texas Instruments and I see a downside move, what's good with you?
Well, I'll basically tell you guys what happened. I initially saw these numbers. I was like, oh, those are great. There had to be more. So I'm still reading through the report, but basically they did beat on Q4 EPS. They beat on sales, but their revenue is actually down 3% on a quarter-over-quarter basis. It's down 2% on a year-over-year basis. So that is pretty interesting, too. They also said that their cash flow from operations, quote, underscored the strength of their business model. So it sounds like this quarter was not really quite as strong as we were necessarily expecting, that they did beat analyst estimates here. Also, their operating profit down 10% year-over-year, the net income down 12% year-over-year, and their EPS down 13% year-over-year. So they may have beat estimates, but they are down year-over-year on every key metric. Not a great report on them.
Yeah, definitely not a good correction. Also, CSX. So right now, there it is. It's basically a flat print here for Texas Instruments. So, okay, NVIDIA, you're saved again. I mean, I just can't wait for NVIDIA earnings. All right, CSX, man. Let's get on those rails right now. CSX, a nice downside move, of course. Hauling, travel, transport coming through. So watch out for CSX here. These numbers are coming to the downside as well. They look to be relatively in line, it looks like, on the EPS, but it looks like sales will miss there, Adara. If we look at a daily chart here for CSX, you do see, oh boy, came right up into a level that's pretty key right there at the 50 and the 200. So CSX right now, as we look, I mean, we got a little bit of like UPS, they're back to this level too. FedEx, a lot of these names not even close to highs. So we have to watch out for the transport industry. Adara, what's good over there?
So here's the thing, is this CSX numbers, they did inline EPS, which is usually viewed as kind of mixed. You obviously want to beat. Sales were a miss, but here's the thing, much like Texas Instruments, they actually had year-over-year decreases for both metrics. So net income here was $733 million this year. That is down from $882 million year over year. What about their, their operating income, $1.1 billion versus $1.32 billion last year. So year-over-year decrease is not a great look, and they have to fall, unfortunately, both of our earnings names so far today. iSurge here, Intuitive Surgical, out next. We're going to wait for that one. That should be out, I believe, within the next few minutes, or we don't have them yet. I'll let you guys know when I see iSurge.
Yeah, welcome to everybody right now. If you do have any questions for Adair and I, we will be taking questions later on. But right now, we watch out for earnings. CSX downside, just down that 2% there, but looks like a little bit more. Actually, just down $1, so it's not that bad. What we're waiting for, we already got Texas Instruments. I mean, to me, that's the big one. We can talk about ISRG.
I do have the numbers.
Okay, they're out right now, so we'll call them up in a minute. But Texas Instruments right now, kind of flat. Again, not like the rest, right? This is not an NVIDIA or a Broadcom or an ARM or anything like that. But right now, Texas Instruments with a relatively flat print here into the for their Q4 earnings report, right at the 200 period and not moving around 195. That is the 200 period moving average. So Texas Instruments up and down a little bit. You saw the TAN ETF. You saw uranium upside today. Look at all of the upside. Today was an absolutely banger of a day. That goes back-to-back jacks. I mean, yesterday was a good day. Trump has been now in power for 4 days. If you're going to look at the SPY, you now can just look over here and look at those last. Look, okay, here comes Donald. Here comes Donald. Right down
Polish Lane.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh, that's true too.
That's where the White House is, I believe.
Yeah, the track's better.
Look at this. Trump, here are the keys. Okay, listen to what the SPY does. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I mean, this is what the market's done since Monday. So it continues to go to the high side. So anybody that's talking about your stock market president, he's in the building right now. It's Mr. Donald Trump, and that continues to go higher. Look, on the show, we don't talk politics. We're just giving you the facts right now. Whether or not you like it or not, check your RRSPs or your 401ks. The market is booming, but it's not all sectors. Today, we actually get that downside push in gold. But I still think there's a spot for gold. It's relatively flat today with uncertainties in the world. Gold is there. All right, Intuitive Surgical, right?
Yeah,
let's have a quick look at that name. A big robotics name. We talked about this again, right? Putting doctors out of work. Nah, not putting surgeons out of work at all, but Intuitive Surgical, nice little upside move. And look what it looks like on the daily, man. It is an absolute truck to the north side. Give us the goods on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of goods to give here, Sean.
Unlike
the other two earnings names we had today, which were a little bit more tepid and they were down year over year, Intuitive Surgical actually, not only did they beat, it seems like they're up year over year, adjusted earnings of $221 per share versus $179 expected. Sales of $2.41 billion versus $2.25 billion expected. Apparently, their worldwide Da Vinci procedures up 18% year over year, larger placement of their surgical systems, revenue up here 25% year over year for the quarter. And their GAAP EPS here also up on a year-over-year basis. I am not seeing any decreases on a year-over-year basis. So I have to say this is a pretty fantastic look for our friends at Intuitive Surgical, threading that needle to the upside.
All right, yeah, good job there. Yeah, I like that thread the needle. That's hilarious. Okay, hey, Chef Joe, look, I made a promise to you a couple weeks ago. If you're ever around on a Thursday, which you are right now, I would love to have you in. You've been one of the guests, not a guest on here before, but a trader that's been in our chat for a while. I know you like to talk Tesla right there as well. Plus, you still owe me that ribeye. So, all right, yeah, Chef Joe, if you want to come in, let me know. Hit it up there. Please, Bears vs. Bulls, handle my guy, Chef Joe. Send him the link if he does want it. We are ready for that if you want to come in. Okay, that's that. Adair and I both, she has many different sources just right here on the screen. We have the Benzinga Pro platform, so any sort of update that come in here, we'll get live news. Like there's ISRG, Mara right now, so a little bit of news there. Texas Instruments as well. But I just want to check in just real quickly with what in the world is going on in crypto land. So Adara, that story.
So much going on in crypto land.
Yeah, exactly. So President Trump there comes out, and I got to find let's go to a 1 minute chart. It was just absolutely wild. I'm going to show you my trades. We got thrown back and forth. At the end of the day, we did have some good trades in IBIT. We'll talk about those. But yeah, this is a 1 minute chart. So like this is 330, Adara. We were all the way up at 106. You don't know 106 in Park, right? That's too...
Sounds familiar? I don't know.
It's a BET show. It's like used to be like a countdown of like the top.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, that's fine.
Name
Free and AJ. We're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like double your age. So, okay, 106 to the downside, all the way down now $3,000. It looks like BTC right now losing it. And part of the problem is what exactly did Donald Trump sign? Like all of a sudden,
I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden, I'm just kind of leading up to asking you it. So yeah. So what exactly did we find out about crypto, and what exactly did Donald Trump do? I turn to the lady to my right, Adara. Let's fill in the audience.
It's pretty weird. So basically, we were looking to hear the words crypto executive order. We heard the words crypto executive order, and it's funny, I didn't even see it on my news. I saw it because I had the MSTR tape up, and it went from 378 to 382. So I immediately knew there was something. I looked to my right to my Twitter feed, and shocker, his aide has said he signed a crypto executive order. Then I hear in my ear that it's something about the digital asset stockpile. So I'm like, that's kind of weird, right? So I look more into it. I do get that confirmation. This crypto executive order has nothing to do with the Bitcoin reserve, which is what we wanted. No. What he did was sign an order basically with a working group that will be looking at the digital asset stockpile. That has nothing to do with BTC. It's not what we were really hoping there or dreaming of. And apparently I also heard something that he's actually not down for the use of these digital assets as currency anyway on a larger sector. So I'm really confused here. He said he was the crypto president. He's not really proven that as of yet, in my opinion.
I got you, CompuCare team. We see a question from him about EMAs. I will get to that. Don't worry. Cool, yeah. We have a lot of questions coming through. We just want to talk a little bit about crypto there. Look, I mean, some people in the chat are like, look, there is no Bitcoin reserve coming. I don't. We'll figure that out.
Anyway.
Not yet anyways. That was a lot of talk. That's the risk to crypto. And we've had a lot of talking heads on the show come through and just say their point about crypto. We like it technically on this break above 100,000. But remember, every single one of these sectors that have really been going in the last couple weeks for sure are prone to, again, policy decisions and what exactly is about to happen, right? We talked about XBI and some of that with RFK and Moderna and whatnot, getting healthier as a nation. There's going to be some effects on that. We've seen Procter & Gamble, Pepsi and Coke and all that get hit on some talk like that. So, all right, CompuCare team, look, you nailed it, all right? What do I have on my chart? Generally speaking, right here, I don't have VWAP, but generally speaking, we have volume-weighted average price, which is either a purple or a blue line. And right here on these charts, which are consistent with my charts over at the trading desk, the blue line, and these are all simple moving averages. So if we zoom in here just a little bit on ISRG, even on the daily chart, this is a 50-period SMA. And if you zoom back out, the green lines on all my charts are the 200-period simple moving average. And I've sort of taken this from daily charts that I was always using, and I put them into minute charts, and I trade off of those as well. So the blue and purple line, you are right, CompuCare, that is just volume-weighted average price. So VWAP, it's, to me, one of the most important things, but I really do like the 200-period moving average. A quick look at Texas Instruments, just to see what it's doing. One of the most important releases here this evening, and again, due to the space that they're in. We got CSX with the rails, and Adara will review this. So we'll have a little bit of a review here in a couple minutes. Let me go over the broader market, though. CSX down, ISRG was up, but now flat, and Texas Instruments downside. A quick little look at what some of the leaders today. NVIDIA, look at that, a little bit of a fail there. Where's my fail button? As they grab a little bit of shrapnel from Texas Instruments. So a nice wow. Wow, NVIDIA. Okay, here, look. We were long at the end of the day. Here's NVDA. This is actually, what's up, everybody? Here's my charts CompuCare team. I forgot that I was logged in over here as well. All right, so as we go, here we go. So this is NVIDIA. Let's just go back to it. Here was the move at the end of the day. So there's VWAP right there. There's the dip buys into VWAP, into the 200 period all morning. This was on our watch list and on the sticky note. And then we went to the gym. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, none of that today, a little bit of elliptical. But we came back and I was like, oh, VWAP, ding. 1 second, Adara. And then we went long through 145.50, boom, boom, boom. And then, oh boy, did we get that surprise right there at the end of the day where we got out at the high of the day, but then it extended even further. So NVIDIA was your number one P&L stock on the show today. We're really happy with that one. So far, so good. Hey, Chef Joe, are you coming in or what, man? Put it in the chat.
He said he wants to.
He wants to? Okay, well, Bears vs. Bulls should have given you the link. So if that's happening, great. If not, I'll try to get a little more efficient and we'll get this figured out. I see Adara waving your finger at me, so what's up?
Yeah, sorry, I really want to talk about this because we actually have the release here of the crypto executive order. This is called Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology. So the highlights here that I've kind of seen posted on X basically are that the digital asset industry plays a crucial role in innovation, and economic development in the U.S., as well as the nation's international leadership. So it's the policy of Trump's administration to support the, quote, responsible growth and use of digital assets, blockchain technology, and related technologies across all sectors of the economy. So it seems like it has to do more with its overall use and less with any kind of reserve or promotion, which is pretty interesting there. I have put the link to the entire executive order in the chat. So if you guys want to take a look, feel free to do so. Pretty interesting stuff. I want to read it tonight.
Okay, so some people are asking about like what cryptos to buy in some sort of a crash. Look, I mean, I can only tell you guys, just do as much. I don't have any charts open or anything like that. I'll discuss this more tomorrow. So whoever was asking about that, it looks like it was Yazid. Look, tomorrow I'll sort of dive into this a little bit tonight. We'll talk about some more crypto names tomorrow. I still like Cardano. I actually like Dogecoin holding that 30, 33 cent area. I think it was down to like 34, 35 today. So that's getting near an interesting level as well. But remember, most of crypto is just speculation. You know, if you're building a position in something, I think the best thing to do would be pick Bitcoin. You guys like the sweater? You like the sweater?
I like the sweater.
Not too
Looks
bad,
warm. Right? We're both wearing sweaters today.
We're
both wearing like the V-cut sweaters.
Like okay.
Huh, look
Good.
at that.
Potato.
Did you look at that?
Yeah, French fry.
Pommes frites.
Okay, pommes frites. Okay, wild. So there we go. We will wait for you. Chef Joe, look, no pressure if you don't want to come in. I understand that Bears vs. Bulls has sent you the link. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure. Coming on with us here. Okay, just real quickly, we'll talk about a few more names. The stock heat map. Okay, today, wow, what a wild day. We had some big releases from Netflix in the last 2 days. Not much coming today, but banks were still good, man. Netflix bounced back today. And look at this board. I mean, this is the healthcare technology. Lilly, AbbVie, Merck, like everything busting higher right now in the space. So we like that. But let's go back to everything right now. What led the way, right? Tesla is the most disappointing name for us because in a day where we started to go to the upside, Tesla's been having a minute trying to figure itself out. So we'll wait to see what happens with this consumer durable name, Tesla, downside move. Here's the banks though. Let's open up finance just a little bit to see what was leading the way. So womp womp, we still get Berkshire to the downside. I'm gonna have to look at that chart. I've been buying some Berkshire here, but I haven't bought anything since the wildfires. So they are a big insurance play. So I want to let that settle down. I mean, the damage and the sort of just I don't know. Like, thank God there wasn't like a major loss of life. I know I believe there was some loss of life, but just the damage that's been done and sort of the check that some of these insurance companies, I'm assuming, are going to have to write. I don't know how much support's going to come from the states or from federal, but at the end of the day, we can look at it. KIE. Actually, you know what? Now that we talk about it, let's just look up the KIE before we go here. I just want to see, because that is the ETF. Trade ideas, where are you? There you are right here. Let me check out the KIE. So KIE is the insurance ETF. So again, a nice little bounce back. I guess we should have looked at this a little bit more. And look what plays again. It's your 200 period simple moving average playing again on the daily here for KIE. And again, this is the S&P Spider Insurance ETF. I'm not so educated about what are the biggest holdings here. We can do that for you, or you can use ChatGPT. But other than that, I mean, that's a stock heat map for today. We can go over it, I mean, in great details. But at the end of the day, Meta up 2%. I mean, are we getting TikTok banned or what? I mean, Trump gave it 75 days. So now you're about 71 more of them
I was gonna say about 71.
to go. And we'll see if they can get it figured out. I actually love what Trump is doing here with TikTok, because you know what he's basically said? He's like, look, if you guys don't sell this at a discounted price to some US companies, then I'm just banning it and it'll be worth nothing. So this is like a great move. I really respect that. And that he's really just like saying it's TikTok, it's US, or it's bust. I like that. I heard there's some Saudi money maybe getting involved there with Elon. We'll see. We'll see if there's any potential there. But again, I like the play. What's this up 6%? GE Aerospace. Wow.
Yeah, they had earnings.
Yeah, that just continues to work, right? We had a bad earnings day for J&J yesterday, but it looks like right now GE Aerospace continuing to go upside, and GE Vernova, another good play. I know Neil was all over that as well. Look, I see Chef Joe waiting to go, so he's going to get. So right now, Chef Joe, we're looking for a mic test. So get that all set up. Fabian's ready to go with you. But if you can't hear me, that's going to be a problem as well. Fabian getting ready to rock and roll. All right. Any questions? Drop them in the chat.
Yes, please.
Adara, what's been going on with you over there? Anything you want to talk about before we head back?
Yeah, so for one here, Lululemon with filing for a share offering here of up to 5,115,961 shares, about 5.1 million share offering. Also, I have a question for you here. So, Sean, I find lately I've been in the situation where I'm literally getting stopped out like right at the bottom, and then it comes and does what you want. So, and I'm not doing even dollar stops or anything. I'm wondering if there's a way in your experience to kind of avoid that type of situation or have it happen a little bit less, because this has been my thing at least now 2 days. I literally get the top print on TradingView.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to tell you that not only does it happen to smart traders like you, but it also happens to faulty traders like me as well. I mean, right here in SMR, I mean, that happens to me right there. Look, I mean, is there a better, I mean, this is pretty much exactly what you're talking about.
That's exactly what I mean.
So there's the move down there, and then I get out of the trade, and then
it comes right back.
Bang, bang. Tomas, how are you doing over there, my guy? Here, he's getting ready. I think he's going out on the town tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun there. And because it's finally got a little warmer here. It's only like -5. So anyways, so there it is right there. So Adair, to answer your question, what can you do better? Well, for me, there's only a couple things.
Yeah.
Right? Breathe.
Breathe. I like that.
That's the first thing. The second thing is no FOMO.
Yeah.
When it happens, and you get taken out.
Yeah.
Okay, now, the reason why you're getting stopped, I mean, I don't know if you have
I have an example here. I can pull up EA.
But I was going to say to everybody out there, sometimes your stops just get run.
Yeah.
And if you stop it out exactly at VWAP or exactly at a 50-period moving average or at a 200 period or at an even dollar mark, like if I'm going to go short Tesla against 420, my stop is going to be like 420.50.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right? And so what I take in consideration, so to help you answer your question a little bit is, I think the one thing you have to look at is the spread of the stock.
That's huge too.
And understand that if a level is going to break, generally you could get a liquidity grab and they wipe out whatever the spread is. If we can go back to a two-shot, might be a little bit better. Then what will wind up happening is sometimes you'll just get pushed out to that top and then you'll trigger and then that's it.
And then it
wipes down. So I would say if it's a more spready name, like the ones you like, you're going to have to sort of pay the piper and put your stops just even a little bit higher.
That makes sense.
And then also, we do have different stop orders, and I can try to help you with this tomorrow, where you get stopped out at the midpoint, you could get stopped out at the bid or the ask or last price.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I would set yours to the ask, because if the spread opens up, you want to get stopped out if it breaks.
That's exactly what I'm looking for,
Not the midpoint.
Not the midpoint.
So anyway, just a little bit there.
I have midpoints right now, so I want to switch that up. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely do that. I do last price because if I'm short Apple or something and I want to get out at a certain price, I just want it to trigger. But
that makes sense.
Anyways, great question.
Thank you very much for answering that.
Are we having difficulties with Chef? He's ready to go. Oh no, here we go. It is just about that time. Look, me and this guy have gone back and forth on X. We've gone back and forth on the chat. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you. And I'm bringing it back. Executive producer, that's fine. Where is he? Okay, we're going to let's bring traders on.
That sounds awesome.
Interview some traders, interview some guests of the day that are not professional traders. They're just average traders like Adara and I. And it starts right now. And it starts with Chef Joe. It's Trader Talk. Let's go. There he is, Mr. Chef Joe. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good.
Are you a little nervous?
Me? No.
Okay, good. Hey, so you're a chef. So first of all, what's your story? How did you get involved in trading? And let's just go from there.
Well, like everybody, 2020 was probably a big year for me. And it got me back to just basically looking at things from afar, because I did trading from years ago. And then I decided to kind of take it on a little bit more full time.
Right.
And once I kind of got the hang of it, I started getting a little bit more information, understanding the markets a little bit more, understanding the levels and things. It actually became second nature for me. And I started trading options a lot more. And it kind of just launched me. And I never gave up my love, which is cooking. but I did it on the side. I set up levels every morning. I set up alerts every morning. I do it like pretty much like everybody else that's watching, and I comment in the, on every day. But yeah, I'm no professional, but I watch a lot of different videos. I watch things all day long, and I take in the information just like I do at work. I take all the information as much as I can, and I put it to work. And it's helped me, and it's been drastically improved over the last couple of years.
Good, that's amazing. The reason, what sort of started with you and I was your love for one specific stock. You keep talking about it. You drive one of these. You're super excited about FSD. And if you come over to my screen right now, I mean, I think we just dropped the hint right there, maybe what it is with FSD and everything. But there it is. It's Tesla. What a nice move this has had here. Was this one of the first names that you started trading back in 2020? I mean, I know it was a really hot name back then, and I know you've made some big plays recently on Tesla. Is that something that started you here? Was the love maybe for the car or your interest in this space? What got you looking at Tesla?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I've always owned nothing but gas cars my entire life. But I got intrigued by it kind of after seeing a few of them more and more on the road and understanding how the superchargers were going to impact my life. And I always wanted to be a little bit more on the, the cleaner side and to push for it. But then I actually went for a test drive in one, and it blew my mind. Yeah. And I'm telling you, as somebody who doesn't believe in that kind of stuff, I owned a Corvette before I actually bought my Tesla. So it was a gas guzzler. And to be honest with you, I was so happy when I got rid of it. I'm like, I'm not going to really lose anything by like acceleration or anything like that. But I just fell in love with the entire concept of it. And then I read into the company a little bit more and more. And then when it dropped, the biggest drop on the company, and I think I've mentioned this a couple times to you, especially on X, is my kind of all in a way was the 108.50 drop. So when I got to 108.50, I'm like, you know what? This is probably going to be life-changing money, and it's probably going to be a good situation for me to kind of buy in. I started with 50 shares. I went from 50 to 100, and I went all the way up to 500, and I'm like, you know what? This thing is really lowly priced right now, and I built myself a little bit of a nest egg.
Yep.
And for a few years, and I said, you know what, I'm going to kind of just keep buying every week. And then I set up an M1 account, and this is my personal account, and I buy pretty much every week, and I just put the money in, and it automatically just disperses the share sizes everywhere. And before I knew it, I was up to almost 3,000 shares. My average cost was $148. And as the push went on this year, or latter part of last year, and then we got into this year, I don't see any reason to even sell one share. And I wanted to kind of leave it off to my daughter as she gets a little bit older. So I'm not going anywhere with this thing. I'm just going to keep adding to it. I added actually 50 more, believe it or not, on the recent drop when it went down to 380-ish. Yeah. And I'll just keep buying more.
Perfect. I mean, I think that it's that conviction, right? I mean, I had something very similar with Palantir. I think if you like something, you turn to love it. And I just think that you got to have reasons to get out. My only sort of thing to you is I know you want to hold everything to your kids, and I always say that, and I know Neil does as well, but please have some discipline. If something changes, make sure that you are able to get out. Okay, in your opinion, I don't want to be too long here, and I want to really thank you for coming on, and I want to have you back on because I think this is going great. What do you think, as a viewer of Trader TV Live, and as a trader of options, and obviously a little differently than Neil and I do, and Sharif and everybody on the show, what for you is the number one quality that you've seen yourself sort of work on and gain in order to become a little bit of a more successful trader? What's that one trading quality that you've sort of built into your system or into your plan that you felt has helped you the most?
I think for me, as a working guy, because this is important,
right.
I work every day. I'm full-time, 14 hours a day. I get up at 4 a.m. I take in the information, but once I take in my information, I set my levels every day. I set my alerts every day.
Perfect.
And what I think happens is you got to have the conviction, just like you're saying, is that once you stick to something, you can't go on these 1 minute or 2 minute time frames anymore. For me, it's a little bit more of the 4 hour to daily and looking at those types of levels, and that helps me stay in a trade.
Right.
The most important thing is, like, you could look at, like, today I was in the SPX trades. But I could have gotten out of SPX earlier today when I saw a lot of the stuff going back and forth earlier in the morning. But I've learned to actually zoom out.
Right.
And if you don't zoom out, you'll get so nervous and you'll just eat your account up. It's happened to me so many times where you get so nervous, you're like, oh my God, it's going to go against me. Before you know it, it actually didn't even hit a level from the previous day. You're just looking at it and going, oh my God, I need to get out of this. But realistically, if you held the SPX from the earlier today, right now, forget it. You'd be sitting happy just like I am right now. My head is like spinning. I can't believe the close we had today. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if for me, what changed was holding.
Right.
What changed is having the conviction and understanding, getting to the levels. If you get to the level, had that conviction and trust it. And then that's the biggest thing that'll get you over.
Right.
Try small. You don't have to go huge. Just try small.
Okay.
And then you'll get that confidence and then forget it.
Chef Joe, like, stop spitting all this like knowledge. Like pretty soon, I feel like I might be out of a job here very, very soon. But I'm very proud to hear this kind of stuff because, I mean, obviously you've developed a lot of it yourself, but this is part of what we try to talk about.
I did.
And educate to everybody as well. So, all right, look, it's 4:30. I get in trouble if we go too far past it. But the one thing I want to ask you, look, I cannot have a chef on the show without asking, what is your favorite dish to cook?
Well, it's obviously steak.
Okay.
I mean, steak is my background.
And your favorite cut?
Yeah, my favorite. I mean, I'm more into, like, I guess you could say the slower cooked meat. Okay. But I do like myself a good ribeye, and anything that's aged 28 days is prime for me, and a prime cut. And right now, it's primal cuts are my thing, and aging process. And I've been doing it my entire life, now going on 36 years.
So my favorite.
So every day is a new thing for me.
My favorite side with a great steak is mushrooms. What about yours?
Okay, all right, mushrooms. That's not too bad.
Okay, first of all, I have to stop a fail on myself. That was a horrible answer. Mushrooms it's horrible. All right, I'm gonna go with another one.
Potato.
Asparagus.
You can't just put regular potatoes. You got to have some kind of a creativity on a potato. But I'm definitely in more involved in just the actual meat itself. So if you're dealing with the ranchers, I deal with ranchers every day. Wow. So it's easier for me to be able to make a good decision on little sides.
How about a brisket?
Mushrooms are good, but I'm more into the potato kind of side. I mean, obviously I'm a bigger guy, so I love potatoes.
Yeah, I like the twice baked potato as well. We'll have to have some brisket next time. If you're ever in town. All right, everybody, that is Chef Joe. So big claps for Chef Joe. Thank you so much for coming on. All right, no, back. I'm not done with him yet. There he is there in the side. All right, hey, go back to that shot again. I want Chef Joe, say hi to Adara.
Hi.
I love Adara, by the way. She does an unbelievable job.
Thank you very much. It's so nice to meet you. People are saying in the chat here, it's great to put a face to the name. I totally agree. So thank you so much for being here with us. And this is always awesome to get to see people that we really only see online here. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's just everyday kind of people. You know, we all talk about it in the chat, and it's pretty wild. But yeah, it's so great to be on.
Yeah.
Well, now you're here, Chef Joe, and I want to thank you for coming on one more time. Thank you for taking the time in the day. Say what's up to your family and everything, and we look forward to seeing you again in the chat. So that is Chef Joe, everybody. Have a great evening, my friend.
I appreciate it.
Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Trader Talk. Look, man, this is the thing about the show, honestly. Like, I kind of get goosebumps a little bit because... Really cool. Like, we go from Tuesday having Brian Shannon on, who has written books, who has over 400,000 followers, 350,000 followers on X, to just Chef Joe. You know, and I mean, that's what we're all about. We're all about trading as a community and, you know, having a good time, learning lessons. I thought that was a great answer that he gave. And I just, those are the questions that we want to ask everybody. What have you learned? What has taken you over the top? So Adara can learn that. I can learn that. We can all just get better.
Learn from each other.
Because no matter what happens, this is a building thing. Trading is not about the money you make today. It's about the money you make tomorrow. I can't say that over and over and over. Like, I can't say that enough because I could have made $5,000 today, lose $8,000 tomorrow, -3 then, right? Yeah. So you got to be very, very patient. You got to be specific and you got to stick with your goals and your routines. Adara, absolutely fantastic. Every time we do the show, I look down and I can't believe time is up.
Yeah. This was
like we didn't even run down pretty much.
No.
I used to have that rundown where it would be like,
oh yeah, we used to have the schedule.
Yeah, the schedule. And then I looked back and I was like, I don't even really follow that schedule. So we scrapped that. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Fabian. I want to thank Brendan. I want to thank Sharif. I want to thank Joe. I want to thank Adara. I mean, thank you for the kind words again, Chef Joe, as well. I want to thank our guest, Chef Joe. Who else, man?
Everybody, Bears versus Bulls.
Anybody, Bears
Nimrod
versus
had a
Bulls?
super chat. Thank you very much to
All the
Nimrod for
super
this
chats.
super chat. Right, brand new one actually just came out while you were talking. This was a 35.90 shekels, saying using the fact that Sean's busy to dedicate this to our legendary mod, Bears versus Bulls, and this awesome community.
Thank you.
I agree. Thank you to this community. Thank you to Bears versus Bulls. I learn from every single person in this chat every day.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, for everybody here at Trader TV Live and all of our guests, once again, a big hats off and thank you to Chef Joe. We got to get those side potatoes with the steak.
Yeah.
All right, and this is
Potato.
pommes frites.
It's the first one I
That's yours. I
promise.
stole that from you. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. It's Friday, baby. Friday, 8:30. Ciao, 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 ciao.